sits atop a throne of skulls.
Hello everyone, and welcome to this best of 7 showdown between Riggsen and ZACHBSAIN. So it's been a pretty popular series so far, a lot of people enjoying the best of 7 format, so we're going to keep sticking to it, trying to keep it at least 2 days a week, but if we can get 3, that's good. Of course, next weekend it'll probably just be once or twice, because that next weekend we're actually going to be having the Ecl Grand Finals, which is going to be a 2-day event, so it's going to be like Ever Chosen. So August 10th and 11th, mark your calendars if you haven't. It's going to be both days starting at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. We're going to be going in. It's going to be good. So our players are actually ready. So I think without further ado, let's quit messing around and get this show on the road. All right, here we go. So Riggsen versus Zach. First game is going to be Vampire Coast versus Empire. So Sigmar facing off against some undead pirates. Always a good time. Let's jump into the game. Ready. You guys good to go? They've been sitting here ready for a while, so I just want to make sure they're good. Looks like Riggsen's good. Zach's good. You know what? Why wait, right? Let's get it going. It's going to be good. I live in California, and yes, my wife is from Poland. So I know there was a couple folks asking there. I know every time Anna's away, I grow a beard. It's true. Hey, Falcon, what's up, man? Welcome. I hope Zach as clear as the underdog. Yeah, perhaps there will be an underdog story today. Riggsen, of course, a very consistent tournament player. Very, very solid play for sure. From what I've observed about Riggsen, he tends to play a very defensive style of play. So we're going to see if Zach's aggression can really kind of turn it on here and go in. Coast's going to win this one, calling it. Well, Mortal Monster, I think that there's a couple good builds here that Empire can bring against Vampire Coast. I honestly think that Empire gun lines, like not guns, but crossbows and things like that are very effective. So we're going to see what he picks. My lovely wife is here. Look at you, thinking you'll keep streaming routine going when I'm back. Oh, man. Of course. Life's good. So yeah, Anna's actually been in Poland for a while visiting her family, but she'll be back in a little bit less than a week, so I'm really excited. Life's going to be good. I feel like I'm Tom Hanks in Castaway, just like growing a beard and just getting slowly more insane. Yeah, I know we started a little bit earlier today. We're doing it. So, for the army, let's go ahead and take a look. Firstly, for the forces of the Vampire Coast, who are going to be piloted by Riggsen. He usually plays Vampire Coast. He says his favorite army is Greenskins, but I'm sure they'll be coming in a little bit later in the cast. So he's got Count Noctilus, Captain Pegleg here, which is pretty good against the Empire. Empire can contest the cannon game, and you guys probably can vaguely remember in the Ever-Chosen Invitational, we had the Gobbo King facing off against Aerocrastic, and it was the same matchup, and Aerocrastic came in with the triple cannon build and just wrecked Count Noctilus. It was nasty, so... I mean, you got to be careful, but nonetheless, if they don't go that direction, Noctilus is pretty good against, the guns. He's pretty good against heavy cav and Empire Knights and things like that. So I think Riggsen is going to be safe based on what I see here. I don't see any heavy cannon play. Oh, Volkmar the Grim on the Volkswagen. Awesome stuff. And a big old Vanguard going on as well. So this is going to be pretty spicy. So we got deckhand mobs here in the front with a couple halberds mixed in as well, and a lot of crabs. So he does have Rotting Prometheans, going to be using those guys to kind of block up the heavy cav. And if there are great swords or, even infantry, the crabs can do quite a bit of damage. They have pretty good stats. 38 and 48 is not bad, so I like that quite a bit. In the back, we do have cannons, the classic Riggsen play. He typically does play very defensive styles of play with artillery. So here we have two carronades, two halberds in the back. It looks like Count Noctilus is going to be kind of guarding those guys. And handguns and handguns as far as zombie pirate gunnery mobs go. Nice little build right there for sure. And now for the forces of the Empire, we have a Firecaster, so it's going to be a Bright Wizard. He's going to be dropping fireballs, pretty standard stuff, just kind of spamming fireball the entire game. And Noctilus can be cost effective, or just simply using the Burning Head to roast all the zombie infantry. Aside from that, we got the Tattersouls, and Tattersouls actually have 120 models. Did not notice that before, and regular Flagellants have 90. Something to note there. We have Free Company Militia here, and it looks like Zach is going to be deploying on the far side with Flagellants, Sigmar Sons, so an entire breakable front line, and Flagellants will beat the brakes off zombies for sure. I mean, their melee attack's very high. When their frenzy's active, I think it's like around 38, give or take. So something to think about. Sunglare says, hey man, let me tell you, you've been a big inspiration. Keep doing what you're doing. I will. Thank you, man. And if you're starting a YouTube channel, let me know. Perhaps I'll take a look over there. See what we can do. So over here on the ground, we do have Volkmar the Grim. We got some silver bullets, but it looks like there is going to be a very sneaky Vanguard. So we have some Free Company Militia here in the back. These guys are going to get crumped pretty bad, which is unfortunate. That's pretty much giving up, a free, 500 gold right there. But if they could actually kill a carronade or, gun down a lot of the crew before the fighting starts, that could be worth it. But aside from that, I have a feeling these guys in the back are going to get crumped very, very quickly. So start anytime. No need to wait for me. And welcome, guys. Welcome. It's go time. Thank you guys so much for joining. So firstly, it looks like the Free Company Militia are going to be opening up, and oh, that's like a terrifying thing, right? Like, you're just like in this like Vanguard situation, and all of a sudden this giant Colossus just turns around and is like, hey man, what's up? Just coming for you. But it looks like he is going to be shooting the carronades right here, but they're not going to last long. The Free Company Militia are going to get blasted by crabs, and it looks like a Wraithstorm is going to be coming down from the Hard Knock Life as well. That's going to be doing some good damage, and those guys are going to get forced off the map. But the bright side of things, they're going to run. They still have 60 models. They've only lost 30 of their comrades, and now they can return to Altdorf. So a little bit unfortunate there for Zach. Tough situation, but here you can see the Free Company are going to be scooting forward, but the cannon pressure is going to be very nasty. I mean, double cannons. Oh, he has triple cannons. Carronade. If Zach can close the distance a little bit quicker, he doesn't want to wait here. He needs to get in there and just start hammering home. My concern for Zach's army is I don't know how he's going to be dealing with the big crabs. I mean, other than through attrition and just kind of, just throwing these naked, shirtless bodies against them with the flagellants, I feel like it's going to be incredibly tough. So anyways here, Riggsen in a very defensive position. Carronades have taken some damage actually. So the fireball used from the Bright Wizard actually is being used to snipe out the carronade. So one carronade has lost a model, but I mean, Riggsen has 3 of those things. That's so much firepower. Plus Noctilus here. And I don't know if he has the aggressive tools here. So he does in the back here have some Outriders, and he has Knights of the Blazing Sun in deep Vanguard as well. So I think he's waiting to get the surround. So he's kind of pulling back with his main force as Riggsen does advance here. And he's going to be pressuring in with his Flagellants and his Free Company and his Sigmar Sons over here on the far side of the battlefield. Yes, you are on time, Helgast. This is the first game of the day. So Empire's going to be pushing in a lot of unbreakable troops. I mean, they will win the fight. And what's cool is they're not going to break, even if they do take a beating. And there is a chance that, Zach's army could just outgrind this force. But so far, it's been pretty good for Riggsen. He's gotten some good value against the gun line. Granted, it is a very, cheap budget gun line. It's Free Company Militia. They don't cost a whole lot. So it's not really the biggest deal in the world. Some delicious water. Very, very good stuff. Sparkling water. Lady Turin has turned me on to that. I used to hate sparkling water. When I went to Poland, they serve it. It's kind of a standard. But it grew on me. Yeah, and I really, I fiend for it now. So the back, another fireball is going to be coming down, going to be slapping the base into the carronades, and it does take out another carronade. I mean, he's slowly losing these, right? We got 2 here, we have 2 here. But the Fireball, you know, you can't spam it every couple seconds, so it's not going to be super destructive. But over here on the far side, the Crabs are going to be surging in to meet the Flagellants. And it's going to be rough for the Flagellants for sure, but we do have the Volkswagen here. And the Volkswagen can certainly juice these guys up pretty good. And he does magic and fire damage, although the Crabs are not weak to fire. So here you can see the Grand Hammer of Sigmar, Soulfire, all the different buffs are going to be going down. And it's only a matter of time before the deckhand mobs really just get torn to shreds by the Flagellants and the Sigmar Suns. Over here on the far side, we do have some zombies coming in. A nice little banishment back here is going to be, you know, tearing into this gun line. Not devastating damage, but certainly not bad, especially if it rotates back here. And it looks like the Knights of the Blazing Sun, who are, I'm pretty sure he just had them far back here because he didn't want them to get cannoned down, have now charged in, and they're doing lethal damage against these deckhand mobs. Man, the charge bonus on those guys is nasty, nasty. In the meantime, the gun line of the Empire is now online, and they're shooting at the Crabs, and wow, look at this. This firepower is doing brutal damage. Oh, it's because the silver bullets are back here. So guys, the silver bullets just tearing into these rotting Prometheans, doing lethal, lethal damage. Outstanding stuff. So Invocation of Nehek is going down as well, which is going to be, you know, helping them to sustain. But, you know, the Flagellants are holding pretty firm with the support of Volkmar. The gunline is shooting, but Volkmar has pretty good magic resist. Plus, he also regenerates, so he's going to be a tough target to just kind of goon out. But man, this Empire gunline back here is just melting these Krabby Patties. Outstanding stuff. Now in the front line, the Knights of the Blazing Sun, Riggsen did turn all of his attentions with his cannons, plus he Count Noctilus here to just blast into those guys. They're going to be going down very quickly, but there's more Flagellants coming in. I wonder what these guys are doing over here. It looks like they chase some zombies to the edge of the map, and also, mind you, Zach does have a couple groups of, or just one group of Outriders actually hidden there, so they're going to be coming in the fourth quarter. But Volkmar's Crusade over here seems to be going pretty well. I mean, 2 groups of rotting Prometheans, that's 2,000 gold, and at what cost? He only really lost, like, you know, half of these Flagellants here, which is, I mean, 100% worth taking out those Crabs. Because now the rest of his army is essentially a hard counter to what Riggsen has left. I mean, Flagellants, not a hard counter because Flagellants don't have armor, but nonetheless, they're still going to be able to beat down a ton of zombies, especially with the Volkswagen, just his proud, powerful mustache, just going through these zombies, just rolling through them, just making Sigmar proud. So if we take a look at the battlefield overall, Knights of the Blazing Sun have retreated into the forest. It looks like they're going to be waiting back there, which is good, because now Zach can simply use his Bright Wizard to kind of snipe out these cannon pieces. And, I mean, he's doing so good with those cannon. I mean, taking out those cannons. And I actually played a lot of games versus Zach the other day, and I had never seen him play before. And man, he is really, really good. He has some very unorthodox builds for sure, but this game is very close. I mean, the bounce power is really even, but I would say in terms of kind of the battlefield status quo, the Empire might be in a slight state of advantage. As long as they can keep the silver bullets online to really kind of pound out Noctilus in the late game, I think they'll be okay. But here, I mean, Riggsen still has a pretty good defensive formation. He's doing a very good job making sure no Knights get back here, and he always has reserves. Flagellants, the Tattersouls, going to be getting into these zombies, and Tattersouls are pretty beasty. 46 and 30 and 36. It's only a matter of time before these halberds get broken down. These shirtless dudes are pissed for Sigmar, and they're getting in there for sure. So you can see here, halberds are starting to crumble a little bit. Some Crabs are being pulled. And let's see what's going on here in the back line. So we have some Outriders kind of waiting in reserve. Man, he has been very patient with these guys. And I think what Zach is going to do is when the Crabs get in position, he's simply going to pull the Outriders out of the forest and start, you know, just kind of popping into these rotting Prometheans and doing some damage from there. So let me make sure we don't have an extra observer in here or something. I don't think we do. Nope, we're okay. A little bit of lag, of course, players connecting from all around the world, but it should stabilize here in a second. So rotting Prometheans are going to be coming in with their Krabby Patties. Going to be dropping some atomic booty drops here on these guys. It's going to be pretty bad for the Flagellants, but what's cool about Flagellants is they're unbreakable, and it looks like a burning head's going to be going down. Oh man, that is going to be a lethal burning head. Oh, beautiful cast right there by Zach. Able to tear into those carronades, go through the halberds and into the other cannon. That might actually be able to finish off. So Riggsen responds very quickly. Good control there. Getting an invocation to make sure everything doesn't crumble here. But the Outriders in the forest have snuck around the flanks. Halberds got melted by that burning skull. Great stuff. Tattersouls are holding back this kind of formation here. And it looks like the Outriders are going to be coming out of the forest here. Oh man, they're going to get these cannons. And I don't think Riggsen has any elements nearby to really kind of save those guys. Brutal stuff. Volkmar the Grim has taken some gunfire, but he's in okay shape. And he can regenerate. He is also unbreakable when he's on his war altar. And it looks like the Empire infantry, though very tattered, should be able to kind of clean up some of these pockets. Although here, 11 against 60, that's a tough fight. So in the back, you can see here the carronades are able to get onto, the Outriders are able to get onto the carronades, which is brutal. I mean, they could potentially all be crumbling now. Negative 23 here. These ones are at negative 5. The other ones are stable for the most part. And now this is man, the patience from Zach is very solid. Knights of the Blazing Sun are going to be coming out with a full chub right now, because now that all the cannons are taken out, Zach is going to be able to get in there with his Knights of the Blazing Sun, melt the carronades, get into that gun line, and just do a ton of damage. So the Outriders are going to be going down here. There is a little bit of crossfire coming in from Noctilus plus the zombie pirate gunnery mobs. But nonetheless, mission accomplished, right? Knights of the Blazing Sun are going to be able to kind of close the distance. And if they want to, could just simply hammer into these guys and really finish them off. The Bright Wizard, I wonder how he's doing on Winds of Magic. Probably has some, good supplies for fireballs left. And here the Empire guns are going to be getting some good crossfire. But more importantly, the Silver Bullets are online. And the Silver Bullets are just tearing into Count Noctilus, doing massive damage. And the Knights of the Blazing Sun coming out of the forest. Man, the patience. A lot of people would probably just look at that and be like, oh, he forgot those guys. It's just a lapse in micro. But I think his delay with the Knights of the Blazing Sun was 100% on purpose. He engaged with his unbreakable troops. He just waited for the moment, and then the Knights came out and they're just exacting justice upon these foul vampires. But they're still taking quite a bit of damage. Riggsen, obviously quite the savvy veteran here, is going to be having all of his guys in guard mode to make sure they keep shooting. But those Knights just have a full-on chub from Meridia. And we'll just say Sigmar. I know it's like a different cult, but whatever. It's Sigmar, guys. Come on. Fireball's going to be slamming into the face of Count Noctilus right there. He's going to be marching about, and he's still somewhat healthy, but his supporting elements are running very thin. And the Volkswagen and company here are able to clean up shop. Volkswagen rocking 101 zombie kills. Just straight up going Rob Zombie through these guys, just riding through them, doing a huge amount of damage. And now Volkmar, Volkmar fighting Noctilus. Noctilus is pretty terrible at just burning down single entities in melee combat. So Volkmar probably could just sit there and eventually crumble him. The fire damage is pertinent as well. Noctilus is weak to fire, if I'm not mistaken. I think he is, although I'm not sure if he is on the Colossus. That's actually something I got to look at. Silver Bullets are going to be piling in here, guys, and it looks like the Sons of Sigmar here doing outstanding work. Fireball coming in as well. The Empire gunline rallying in the fourth quarter, and Count Noctilus, the foul vampire lord, hath fallen. His runes hath been smote upon kelp and coal dust. So down he goes, and with that, the rest of the zombie horde is going to be disintegrating. Their vampiric master has lost his clutches on his forces, and that's going to be all she wrote. Man, that was a good battle. That was a really good fight. These best of sevens most certainly bringing out the best of the players here. And we have a couple donations I missed during the stream. We got Christian Bender with a 30 DKK. Thank you so much for the Empire. Bring the chair. Dude, Volkmar brought the chair just for you, man. Thank you so much for the donation. And we have a donation from Sunglare, so I'm not sure what currency that is. Let's see. I'm going to double check. Right on, man. It's Hungarian. Ah, cool. Well, cheers to my Hungarian friend out there. And Sunglare, how about some Total War Warhammer speedruns? I actually finished a B07 campaign like super quick ones. Speedrun could actually be really fun. That could be pretty fun. Like a campaign or something. Anyways, thank you so much for the donations, guys, for kicking off this stream strong. And yeah, guys, that was a really good battle. So let's go ahead and update that. Zach is going to be taking the first game, drawing first blood against Riggsen here. And now the pick and ban system is going to alternate. We're going to see what they go for. Yeah, we're good. Should one of us host the next one? I think it's yeah, the lag wasn't really that bad. I don't think it was a big deal. It's a little bit laggy, but that's okay. So let's go on the Astalian Tomb. Do we want to do that one? We'll do Astalian Tomb. Cool. So the players are going to do their next pick and ban, and now we're going to be hanging out. So Black Phillip, it's your new favorite format. I agree with you, Philip. I think it's my new favorite as well, because what's really cool about the best of 7 format is it kind of tells the full story of a player's skill. It's not like they're just going to lose a best of 3 in which they could have came back and won or pulled a couple games. It lets the players kind of develop and warm up too. Even if you drop a couple games, you can still warm up. Like best of 3, sometimes it takes some time to get warm, right? And get your fluid play. But in a best of 7, you have a lot of time to do that. You get to try out all your different factions. And I think it's a true kind of a measure of what a player can accomplish, So I think it's a good format for sure. I still like best of 3s for sure for tournaments in which you have to get things moving. But if you can isolate and give the players the full chance to kind of show their skills, I think it's cool. Garland Green, thank you for the $10 donation, man. Much appreciated as always. Your perpetual support is huge. So thank you so much, Garland, for the $10 donation. Major Mullah, cannot stick around and watch more of the stream, but I'm trusting you to provide some classic replays. I will, man. Lady Turin would defeat a Witch Hunter for sure. We had Britannia the other day in one of our best of 7s. Zach does have a good taste in factions. As a matter of fact, his favorite is dwarves and Tomb Kings, he said. That's right. We have on Sotech stream. What? Oh, Zach is in the US. Okay. They're saying it might be me. We can try to rehost if this game lags. Who hosted before? It shouldn't be me though. I have pretty good internet for sure. Just finished a Wood Elf campaign in 63 turns. Damn, that's impressive, man. That's impressive, Sunglair. It's a nice speed run. Garland, thank you, man. Anna and I met online a long time ago. You know, to answer your question, straight shooter gaming. I think maybe I did, or it was Sotek. It's a Spec Host game. Probably Sotek. Be random. My net is fine. All right, so it looks like Zach might be going over to Greenskins, and let's see. Pick and ban. Let's see what he's doing. Thank you guys for joining. We're getting started a little bit earlier today. I was able to kind of get my bearings. I tend to stay up really late, like binge watching TV shows and stuff. So, and Riggsen's now going to be going Empire. So man, Sigmar is getting his today for sure. It's going to be Greenskins versus Empire, which probably means we're going to be seeing some heavy cav play like Empire Knights, Knights of the Blazing Sun, all that kind of good stuff. I know, I have the best wife. Lady Turin is awesome. She is the best. So we got married in the States, actually. Yeah. Yeah, so she came over. We did the whole fiance visa process. It's a pretty long grind for sure. Essentially, you have to put in your paperwork for the fiance visa. That takes months to get approved, like 6 months or something. And then after that, she's able to come over here for a period of 3 months, in that 3 months you have to get married. And then after that, though, that's not the end of it. After that, you have to file another wave of paperwork, wait another 6 months or more, and then you have to interview with the USCIS. You have to be interrogated. It's this long, grindy process. Oh God, it's horrible, man. But we made it through. Anna and I, we took it down. We took down the beast. We slayed the dragon, and life's good now. We're all set. Yeah, I'm always happy to watch Empire. Empire is one of my favorite factions to see. I mean, we got to see the powerful mustache in a competitive game, just coming in on his Volkswagen. I mean, that army was great. And I actually think that Unbreakable Empire armies are really underrated. You see a lot of people using State troops, Spearmen with shields, but I really think Flagellants are just so good in so many matchups. Under the bus she is thrown. ZACHBSAIN says, maybe it's my girlfriend watching 90 Day Fiancé. Dude, Zach, 90 Day Fiancé is Anna and I's favorite show. We love that show. It's so much fun because we've been through that experience. So just to watch all these horrible people failing, and oh God, it's so good. It's so good. It's so awesome. Yeah, well, when I was living in Poland for a couple of months, I couldn't really stream much because we lived in a bit of a forested area. It was a little bit rural, so it didn't have the internet infrastructure. So I mean, we had to use this really kind of gnarly. I mean, it was good internet, as good as you can get in that area, but it was wireless, so I couldn't really stream. Yeah. Ann and I love 90 Day Fiancé, and if any of you guys haven't seen that, even if you think it's not for you, you will enjoy it. 90 Day Fiancé is one of the funniest shows ever. It is so cringy and oh my God, it's ridiculous. Who would win, the Adeptus Administratum or the American visa system? American visa system, for sure. All right, guys. We're rolling. Best of 7 is on. I actually have to go to my local game store today. I had one of my friends in the league did a commission for me, so he painted up some of my obliterators because I'm painting a batch of 30 cultists right now, so I'm trying to split the load a little bit. So one of my friends is helping me out with that, so I'm gonna go pick those up today. All right, looks like Riggsen is ready. Zach is still making the final touches. We have another repeat of the Battle of Blackfire Pass, Greenskins versus Empire, a classic showdown. I'm trying to think of the most iconic showdown in Warhammer. I mean, is it Empire versus Chaos or Empire versus Greenskins? What would you guys say? What is the most iconic lore showdown in Warhammer Fantasy? And I know there's a lot of lore folks here, so let's hear it. Let me know. I'm quite curious, actually. I'm quite curious. Sponsored by 90 Day Fiancé. I wish for sure. Jake Wu, why are you happy today, man? What's up? Talk to me. You know what really is kind of the standard, though, I think is, although Riggsen really likes his defensive plays, so maybe we are going to see cannons. I really don't think cannons are good against greenskins. I think that the greenskins don't have too many high-value targets they bring to snipe out with cannons, and they typically just swarm you, right? So I think that cannons aren't that great here. Although mixing in like one, cannon is okay. It's not going to be the end of the world, but I still don't think it's worth it. High Elves versus Dark Elves? I mean, I guess. But I feel like Empire versus Chaos is... It's got to be Empire versus Chaos. Right? Yeah, Empire versus Chaos, I think, would be my say. Lizardmen versus Chaos? Yeah. Skaven versus Skaven. Let's Play says, have Jeremy Kyle show, British version. Have I seen that show? Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah, oh yeah, I've seen it on YouTube. I haven't watched it live, but Let's Play. Thank you for the two, man. Much appreciated. I've seen that show. Yeah. Anna and I love those shows, like Jerry Springer type shows and Maori, and like they're just so fun to watch. ZACHBSAIN, thank you for becoming a member on the channel, although I thought you were a member before. But anyways, thank you again, man. Welcome back. Either way. Sorry, Jake, your message got pushed up, so I didn't quite see your response, so I'll try and get it later. All right, guys. Empire, and of course, classic Riggsen coming in with the cannon, but he only brought one, and it is the Hammer of the Witches, so that's okay. It's a good insurance policy against like Orc War Boys and Giants and things like that. So I like the fact that he just brought one. It's not going to be too much to protect. So for the forces of Riggsen, we do have an Amethyst Wizard. Spirit Leech is always good. And Sunglare, thank you for becoming a member here on the channel. Much appreciated, man. And have fun with your new emojis. We're going to be getting Smiling Gelt here in a couple days, so don't you guys worry. Thank you guys so much. I just rejoined to use this emoji. Yeah, those are all drawn by Anna, all those emojis. So Amethyst Wizard up here in the sky. Spirit Leech, Greenskin, sniping Greenskin Lords is always a good choice. I mean, it is always solid. Greenskins, when they lose their leadership, can really buckle for sure. So we got an Amethyst Wizard. We got Boris Todbringer. So Boris is pretty much the go-to Lord. If you're going to be using a Lore of Magic other than Lore of Life, he is the solid pick. Now, as far as the missile pressure, we have 3 crossbows. Crossbows can do okay against like goblins and not so good against black orcs, but against like biggins and things like that and nasty skulkers, and especially against savage orcs, they can do a ton of damage. So the crossbow pick here for Riggsen, pretty solid, but can he protect it? That really is the question. On the flanks here, we have a combination of greatswords and swordsmen, and yeah, so it's just greatswords and state troops. Sigmar Sons here in the middle. A lot of greatswords though, and totally does have 3 groups. So those guys certainly going to be able to beat down a lot of greenskin infantry, and that's pretty much it. I mean, a defensive build for sure, but still has a lot of punch in terms of the offensive game. We got greatswords, we got Sigmar Sons, certainly no joke. Now for the greenskins, it's a massive erect wall as always. ZACHBSAIN going to be coming in with Night Goblin Squighoppers here. Great Shaman over there in the corner, just as a mana battery. Night Goblin Squighoppers here on the far side. So a very aggressive Vanguard coming in from Zach. And we do also have Night Goblins, just Orc Boys, nasty Skulkers on the flanks to deal with heavy cab pressure from the Empire. Granted, Riggsen, like I said, really likes to play these defensive styles, styles of play. He's not going to be really using the Cycle Charging from Empire Knights. So Skulkers could be pretty good against Greatswords. I mean, they have solid AP and good combat stats for sure, so I don't think that's going to be bad. We got a missile line, Orc Air Boys. In the back, we got Savage Orc Biggins. Those guys going to be doing some heavy lifting for sure. And more Squigs and Goblin Wolf Chariots as well, which is going to be super good against this build because Riggsen doesn't really have any Empire heavy cav. So Chariots do have the potential to actually punch through and really get into that bow line, which is going to be good. So I like the build from both players. If I had to say a slight... Who's the leadership here, by the way? Oh, it's a Goblin Great Shaman in the corner. Okay, and what does he have? Gork'll Fix It? Does he have any other casters, or is that all he has? So he does have an Orc caster as well with Brainbuster and Fist of Gork. So he's going with a dual Lore of Magic here, which is cool. We'll see if Sigmar prevails for sure. Currently, Zach is up 1-0 in the series with a pretty solid Sigmar win over the Vampire Coast in the first game, which, Vampire Coast is considered by most to be a very, very top-tier faction. So it's definitely a good win for the Empire there. Somebody in chat, or in the post comments the other day after the stream was like, I only come to these streams to listen to Turin drink water. Turin, what do you think the Old World update? I actually have no idea, man. Yeah, Sunglare, I'm as curious as you are. So here comes the defensive Helm's Deep. Riggsen with an Empire gun line. I'm surprised he's not playing Dwarves. I mean, this kind of a build would probably be better suited for Dwarves. Although he does have a big, flying, powerful Lord that can cause terror, so I suppose that makes it a little bit more viable against Greenskins. The first cannons are shooting in against Orc Boys, not really going to be doing much, and Spirit Leech is going to be going down as well, and he's dropping it on the Morgub's Mage Marauders, which to me is a very strange choice. I do not think they're worth a Spirit Leech, for sure. I mean, crossbows can simply fend those guys off, and Toddy in the meantime is going to be coming down and shrekking some of the goblins here, and he's going for it. He certainly took out, yeah, 7 or 8 goblins, not bad. And at this point, he's going to be falling back. But the brave goblin wolf chariots are going to be just getting in there, doing some shots. And here it comes, poking into those guys. And it looks like Toddy's going to get back up in the sky. He's going to be a free bird. Listening to Leonard Skinner as he flies into the sunset. And the cannon now is going to continue shooting, but still not really paying for itself. I mean, if I were using the cannon, I might actually just shoot at the Orc Shaman, just try and get lucky and pop him off his pig. Like Orc Shaman, I would snipe casters. Like with this build, with the Amethyst Wizard plus Boris, and the first chariots are actually going to be slamming into the flank. So they're going to be coming in here against these swordsmen, getting some work done. And yeah, I mean, getting some damage for sure. State troops not losing any models, but taking some HP damage. And I mean, if they're distracting Toddy, that's big. I mean, Toddy's going to be chasing down wolf chariots. Like, okay, I'm fine with that. And a very nice brain buster coming in. Look at that beautiful cast there from the Orc Shaman. Able to hit the crossbowmen, and that's a really underrated spell. It's able to take half HP off those crossbowmen. Now, it didn't kill any models, but I mean, if these guys just get sneezed on by anything, that's going to be brutal damage. So the first Goblin Wolf Chariot has gotten through, but it's wavering. It's taking quite a bit of damage from the Amethyst Wizard here, and it is going to be breaking, but Wah has been popped, and the Greenskins are going to be surging in. Oh man, these Savage Orc Biggins with a full erect Wah are just going to beat the hell out of these swordsmen. That is going to just be a bully beatdown, just straight up destruction. So Sigmar's Sun's going to be taking some heavy damage from that, especially with the Wah active. And it looks like in the front line, Toddy is going to be surging in to attack these Orc Boys and Savage Orc Biggins here. And now he's going to start sniping characters, which if you have an Amethyst Wizard plus Toddy, that's how you have to do it. So Amethyst Wizard gets in there, Toddy's coming in as well. It looks like the Hammer of the Witches is coming in, and this pig is having a really bad time. He is just in a horrible situation here. Toddy's giving him the biz. He's -9. He's going to be breaking and running for the hills. Now, is Riggsen going to chase him off the battlefield? Probably not, because of this missile core that is going to be supporting him and making sure he comes back. So it's not terrible. And the Wolf Chariots in the back still getting into that bow line. And look at this. Here in the back as well, the Squig Herd. Even though there are spears here, man, Zach does not care. He swarms in with just a massive army of squigs back here. Going to be just jumping on the Hammer of the Witches, doing a ton of damage against these spearmen. Outstanding stuff. And now you can see there's going to be some fanatics getting thrown as well. But Riggsen is able to stabilize his backline for the most part. He fends off the Wolf Chariots. The bows are still online, but it's only a matter of time before the Greenskins break through the front, most likely. Although look at this. Greatswords are doing really well for Sigmar. I mean, definitely showing up these Savage Orcs. And Greatswords are basically a counter against Savage Orcs. Their armor is really, really good. Savage Orcs have terrible AP in general, so here comes some Squig Hoppers going to be helping in the second win. Some Savage Orcs are going to be getting a rear charge, which is going to be quite devastating. They have a good charge bonus of 37, so certainly no joke there. Bounce Fire is very even, but the Greatswords, though they did well in that front fight, now they're going to start getting swarmed from multiple angles. They're taking a lot of bow fire, and there's going to be reserves coming in. So the Nasty Skulkers are going to make quick work of these very tattered Greatswords right here, I would imagine. And Savage Orcs have gotten into the cookie jar. You can see here they've gotten on some crossbowmen. In the back, there's some Night Goblin Squig Hoppers who are going to be coming up and around. They were able to temporarily shut down the cannon, but Riggsen did a very good job of defending his cannon piece. And the Warlords boys are coming back as well, so there's a lot of pressure on the Empire right now. There's just pressure coming from everywhere. And the Amethyst Wizard here is going to be fighting the Pigmaster. And he's got to be careful, though. I mean, he could get pinned down and just taken out by some of these Cav units. And a Spirit Leech is going to be going down on the Orc Shaman. He's probably going to survive that, I would imagine. And oh no, that's not good for Riggsen. His caster is surrounded by goblins. The Goblin Wolf Riders have got him surrounded. There's Orc Boys coming in. Morgub's Magi Marauders should probably just swarm in there as well. Just make sure he doesn't get away. Now, in the distance, the Goblin Great Shaman has come in. He's emerged cackling from the forest. And it looks like he cast a Corkle Fix-It here on Boris just so he could get away. 92 speed against 47 right now. He should be fine. And it looks like the Greenskins are slowly starting to crump these Gits, guys. Gits are being crumped for sure. Yeah, the Greenskin Lord is the Goblin Great Shaman. He's been hiding in the forest cackling this entire time. And there's Savage Orcs everywhere. So Sons of Sigmar are holding, but man, this is going to be a tough hold. In the back, we have Savage Orc Biggins here going to be charging in and tearing up these spearmen. Oh, you know, that's the one time the lag was kind of cool because it gave us like a big like slow-mo pause up in the air. Oh man, this cannon crew's in a lot of trouble. Toddbringer's going to be coming back here. Could potentially rescue the situation, but this is where like Empire Heavy Cav really shine. When the Greenskins are kind of tattered and you're able to kind of just ride down their very loose pockets of troops, it's extremely effective. So, I don't know. Maybe we'll see it. Maybe we won't. Who knows? Boris Toddbringer are going to continue clawing on the Savage Orc Biggins here. Spearmen are going to be surging forward as well. More Spearmen back here. We have 90 models. But I don't know, guys. Greenskins are taking over. The Amethyst Wizard got just punished here by the Greenskin Archer Corps in the back. You can see he's very, very beat up. Now the Greenskins have a massive wall, just kind of surging forward here, doing some pretty good damage. And it's only a matter of time before these Spearmen and these other troops here probably go down. Brainbuster going to be getting popped as well. What a beautiful cast, man. Great targeting here by Zach. Outstanding play. And Sigmar, you know, Sigmar's 1 for 1 today. But I'm pretty sure Sigmar, the Sigmarites are going to be dropping this game here. Just not enough Volkmar, not enough Mustache, and I don't know. Don't think they're going to be able to win this one. Savage Orcs here just grinding down these Spearmen up to 166 kills on these guys. Outstanding damage. Toddy's doing the best he can. I mean, he's pissed. He's got his eye patch. You know, he's not messing around for sure. He might be able to actually get these guys off. They're actually terrified right now because their frenzy wore off, and when their frenzy's gone, they're not immune to psychology. So Savage Orcs are going to be getting pushed off, and you can see over here the Amethyst Wizard is going to be flying into the sunset here, getting taken out by Gorkul Fix-It plus a bunch of Goblin Archers. Wolf Rider Archers just doing great work. And guys, I think the Empire's getting crumped. There's too many greenskins left. They're everywhere. Wolf Rider Archers chasing down Spearmen. I mean, Toddy is the last bastion of hope, but I don't think Toddy's going to be able to win this alone. There's just too many troops left. Savage Orc Biggins, Archers, a full health group of Nasty Skulkers in reserve. That's going to be brutal. I mean, I don't know what he's going to be able to do against that. Nice smoke bomb right there from the Skulkers, able to hit the caster plus Toddy. So Toddy is going to be slowed right now as these Squig Hoppers do charge in and are just going to butter the bread of these last guys right here. So man, brutal damage coming in. Sigmarite's going to be falling to this pressure. And yeah, I really think you need heavy cav for sure. Like a couple Empire Knights, Knights of the Blazing Sun. I really think that's the way to win this matchup. But nonetheless, I mean, it was a close fight. It still is. I mean, Toddy might be able to come back. Greenskins can lose battles just like the snap of your fingers if they get mass terror routed. So, I mean, maybe if Toddy can snipe the Greenskin Lord and the caster and just kind of go that direction, that could be pretty big as well. It seems like he's really just trying to stabilize his cannon, but I don't think it's going to happen because there's just so many Greenskins surging back there. Another group of 47 Savage Orc Biggins coming in. Night Goblin Squig Hoppers do get hit with a Spirit Leech, although that Spirit Leech could have probably killed this Orc Shaman, which I think might have been better. But even still, I mean, he is just trying to secure this cannon piece because I guess when the cannon goes, his army's probably going to crumble as well. Is he going to get the terror route? Probably going to get a route here on these Squig Hoppers. But, I mean, look at that. Look at the wall. There's just like a massive angry Greenskin horde coming up the hill. You can see them in the distance. Orc Air Boys, we've got Squigs, just all kinds of pressure coming in, and the Sons of Sigmar are very tattered at this point. We have a couple spears left. I mean, they're going to hold for maybe a couple seconds here. Toddy's still confident, I'm sure. You know, he's eager, to say the least. But the cannon's offline. And now it's just going to be Boris versus the world. And in accordance with our tournament rules, if this last group of spearmen stops fighting, I mean, Toddy, being a single entity, will have to charge and meet his doom in the face of this Greenskin onslaught for sure. So here up in the sky, Amethyst Wizard is going to be pulling up. Spearmen are still holding. I don't think Riggsen has any way of getting back in this game. I mean, it's going to be so hard. He does get a Spirit Leech off of the Goblin Great Shaman before he goes, though. So maybe, I mean, maybe if Riggsen is able to snipe the Goblin Great Shaman plus also the Orc Shaman, and then just kind of, you know, rampage from there, maybe, but it's going to be a tough ask. Gorkul Fix-It slows him down. Nasty Skulkers coming in. I think this is going to seal the doom for this game. Smoke Bomb as well, so look at the speed on Toddy. Toddy has 9 speed right now. He's taking massive archer fire. He's pinned down by Nasty Skulkers, Savage Orc Biggins, who are an anti-large unit. Like, even the Goblin Great Shaman's coming in. Oh, he was thinking about it. He's going to pull back. Squig Hopper's pulling in as well. And man, a lethal ending for Toddy here as he's focused down. And the onslaught of the Green Tide is going to advance towards Altdorf, where, you know, Karl Franz is probably waiting. The true Battle of Blackfire Pass. Karl Franz sent out his Elector Count Boris Todbringer, but Toddy wasn't able to, you know, get there. He wasn't able to get there. Oh, man. Quite a game, my friends. Quite a game. These two players evenly matched. Zach is up 2-0, but the games have been very close across the board. So the Empire's 1-1 today. The Greenskin, the Green Tide coming in with a very cool build for sure. I like it. I mean, this build is so like wild, like and random, but it works. It works. Well, it's not random. I mean, there's a lot of thought put into it, but for sure, it's very different than what you would traditionally see, I think. The Goblin Great Shaman just running around with Gorkul Fix-It. It's pretty wild. Rip Manlings. Indeed. Indeed. All right, 1 second, guys. So let us go back to the lobbies here. And now... So Riggsen says, if I have to lose, I'm glad it's to the boys, is what he says. Oh, man. All right, so let's do a desert map. Or we could actually do a Lustria map. I know there's a couple people in chat asking for one. So we could do River Amixon. It's actually a really good map. River Amixon, where art thou? Up here somewhere. Aha, there we go. All right, time to answer some questions. Oh, Sunglare, I mentioned earlier, I met Lady Turin online a long time ago. Yes. Yeah, I think you need some heavy cav. I mean, Greenskins can't really contest that. I mean, Orc Warboys are just kind of a mediocre unit in general. I mean, they can be okay. Broken Test Mob isn't bad, but I think Empire really needs to kind of, you know, capitalize on what they do better than the Greenskins, which is using cav. The reason why Riggsen has his crossbows in a box formation is because when they're in a box, they turn faster. If you have missile units spread out to the max, when they turn to shoot something that's on their side or flank, the entire formation has to reform in that formation, which takes a lot longer. In a box, they turn very quickly and shoot. So that's the reason why you see that. It makes them turn and shoot easily. Yes, that's correct. So Riggsen is going to be going greenskins, which is one of his best factions. He says, let's see. Sorry, that's my boys. So Riggsen bringing his boys. And bans. Let's see what he bans. And he's banning lizards. Fair play. It's pretty good. I mean, it's a hard matchup for greenskins, I think. So lizards are pretty solid there. Bear Wake says, I'm glad I finally caught another live stream. Hey, man. Glad you're here. Welcome. Hell Gas, how does one get good reps, man? You're just putting in those reps. Honestly, joining the various community discords and just kind of playing with good players is the best way to kind of improve. And grinding ladder helps as well, for sure. Yeah, Technozan, I'm glad, man. Sorry to hear that, Sunglare. Sorry to hear that, man. So far, Zach is up 2-0 here. I'm not sure what his clan means or what clan he's from. He bans lizards. So who is Zach going to bring? We will find out in the next episode. Zach's pick. What's up? What's up, Gret? Is it Gretch? I believe. Now I have to watch Turin and Evo. I know, man. We're making things difficult. We're making things difficult. Unlimited power. If there's any mods in chat, if you guys could drop a link to the Discord, that would be much appreciated. It's a little bit tricky for me because I have the stream open on the laptop and my Discord's on my main PC, so it's a little bit hard for sure. But if there are any mods there, I would certainly appreciate it. Anyone lurking in the shadows? And if they don't not able to drop any links, I'll drop it before the stream's over. I broadcast from California. Yes. Oh, Jake, I heard that's a good one. The White Scars book with the great Jagatai Khan. Oh, greenskins versus dwarves. Man, you guys are getting all the factions today. You're getting dwarves, you're getting greenskins, you're just getting all the goodies. Empire, this is a good one. Magic D says, love the best of 7 showdowns. ECL final is still on August 10th and 11th. Magic D, firstly, thank you so much for your support and your donation. Secondly, to answer your question, ECL Grand Finals are August 10th and 11th, Saturday and Sunday, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. It's a 2-day event, so it's going to be 2 days, each of which is going to have first day will be 4 best of 3s, and then the second day, the winners of day 1 will advance. We'll have 2 best of 3s and a best of 5 and a best of 5. Yeah. Correct. Magic D, again, thank you so much for your support, man. And we're here. It's time. Grimgor versus Ungrim. You know, Ungrim Iron Fist is okay. Yeah, he's okay. I think that Hiking Thorgrim is a much better pick. Thorgrim's a beast. Like, he can solo tank things. Like, his buffs are good. Ungrim is a little bit kind of janky, unfortunately. The High King doesn't mess around, though. I'd rather see High King Thorgrim versus Grimgor if I'm going to see a matchup like that. I'd rather see that. Let the clans unite. Matt L says, hey, Turin, I made my first Space Marine list for 40k. Plan on putting Centurion Devastators with Aggressors and Intercessors. Centurions are okay. It depends on who you're playing against, Matt. Like, that army sounds very bolter heavy. You might need a little bit more to deal with big targets. Like, if you're going with Aggressors and Intercessors, and, like, it doesn't sound like, aside from your Hellblasters, you have much to deal with, like, big threats. So you have to kind of imagine. Your entire army is, like, 24 to 36 inch range, so I guess Hellblasters have pretty good range, right? Is it 30 or 36? I mean, that's going to be really good against Horde armies. If you're playing, like, Hordes, like Black Legion Cultist Hordes or Poxwalker Hordes or Plague Bearers, you're going to have a lot of stopping power for sure. I don't know. I think having a big esports scene for Warhammer would be a little bit tricky. I don't know. It's hard to say. I'd love it. It really, I don't know. I'm trying. I'm trying my best, but yeah, it's hard to say. There would need to be more money in it. That's always a big incentive for sure. But I mean, it pulls pretty good numbers for sure. Our streams do well. Yeah. Yeah, Footlords are a little bit grim for sure. All right, so we got they're both ready. Let's get this show on the road. Let us get this show on the road, brothers. Hey, Von Karstein, we'll get you in one of these as well, man. I saw that you messaged me in Discord or dropped a message there, so I'm going to kind of set up like a waiting list of folks who are interested in Best of Sevens in the Discord. Yeah, Mortal Monster, I'll take care of it. After this game, I'll drop Discord links. No problem. You know, I lost against Grimgore a couple weeks ago, but it was Aerocrastic playing, so it's not like a true loss against Grimgore. He just outplayed me in other aspects of the game. Yeah, I'll take care of it. No worries. I'll get the Discord link after this match. It's incentive to stay and watch. All right, guys. It's time. The Greenskins yet again. The Green Tide is back. And Riggsen with his classic artillery builds coming in with the steel chair. Goblin Rock Lobbers. So if we look at Riggsen's build, he's got 2 Doomdiver Catapults and 2 Rock Lobbers. Going to be trying to out-artillery the Dwarves. So the haggard, ramshackle machinations of the Goblins going to be trying to outduel the might of the Dawi, which is going to be interesting. Anyways, up in the sky, we got Azag. Azag's a great pick. I mean, he's a good sniper. Like, he has good AP. He's a good duelist. He can chase down gyrocopters. I think Azag is a very solid pick in this matchup. Aside from that, we got a bunch of Goblin Rock Lobbers, Doomdivers, 3 Black Orcs, pretty common, Orc Airboys, a ton of Nasty Skulkers, and 2 groups of Goblin Wolf Rider Archers. It's going to be hard for those gyrocopters for sure. And I'm really kind of curious what Zach brought. So, oh my god, Zach has some crazy builds, I must say. I mean, this is pretty unorthodox for sure. So guys, we got Hammerers. Hammerers. It's hammer time. It's hammer time, baby. So we got Peak Gate Guard, we got Hammers on the far side. In the back, we got Ironbreakers, Grumbling Guard, and more Ironbreakers in the form of Norgrimling's Ironbreakers. Wow, this is going to be a meaty build. I mean, does Riggsen have enough to actually stop this onslaught? You know, the one thing that Riggsen has going for him is the fact that he does, of course, have Azag plus some pretty good AP on the Black Orcs and Skulkers. And, you know, the artillery will actually be really cost-effective here. So, yeah, but that is a meaty Hammer Time build. Look at that. 3 Hammers, Peak Gate Guard. We have the Norgrimling's Ironbreakers, High King Thorgrim giving melee attack to all nearby troops, and a Runesmith with all of the different buffs from Zach. Man, that is a Hammer Time build if I've ever seen one. Now on the far side, we do also have a Gyrocopter with the Brimstone Gun, which, you know, could be pretty good against artillery if it can sneak up, but Azag and Goblin Wolf Rider Archers, if microed effectively, should be able to keep the Brimstone Gun at bay. So we're going to see if he can get his value from that. I think he has 2 Gyrocopters, 1 on each side, so he's going to be doing a big old wrap here. Interesting builds. Riggsen's build's unorthodox as well. I think the more standard build against Dwarves is spamming Black Orcs and just going like wide with a bunch of squigs and you know, mobile pressure. Yeah. We'll see. We will see, guys. People underestimate Dwarf's offensive infantry. Well, especially if you're not expecting it. Yeah, I mean, if you don't account for it, ooh, it can be scary. But what would be bad for the Dwarves, for example, if there was Black Orcs mixed in with, like, you know, squigs and things like that, that could really kind of hammer them as they're advancing. Although, I don't know, the artillery pieces might be okay. Doomdiver's I'm eager to see how they perform against his heavy armor, for sure. They're saying, wah, all the usual greetings that orcs give to dwarves. Standard stuff here. Those Black Orcs are in for a hurting, potentially. I mean, if they get there and they're healthy, those Black Orcs will probably get crumped pretty bad. And, you know, High King Thorgrim can fight Azag. I mean, he's pretty thick. Azag has 4.2 KHP, and High King Thorgrim is rocking just a rock-hard 5.7. And his stats are insane. 52, 62, 500. I mean, though he does lack AP a little bit, I mean, Azag only has 70 armor. So in a straight duel, I think that Thorgrim, without magic, would probably win that. It's hard to say. Hard to say, guys. Those wood elves in the forest look smaller and sturdier and beardier than I remember. It's pretty good, Optimus Pine. Black Orcs, I'm pretty sure beat Hammers 1-1. But if Hammers have the support of, like, you know, magic, or runes, excuse me, not magic, then they can do pretty well in that trade. So Zach's going to have to advance here. If he wants to, he can try and weather out the storm in the forest, but that's a huge mistake. I've seen people do that, and it'll really just backfire. So he needs to advance here and start pressuring these artillery pieces. The gyrocopters on the far side going to start shooting as well, and we're going to see how good Zach's micros with the gyros. 105 speed against 110, so they're... Ooh, and the Doomdivers coming in as well. Doomdivers are a pretty good answer against gyros. They're heat-seeking missiles, basically. So these gyrocopters need to just Tokyo drift out of here. And at the very least, if they can run to the edge of the map and just hug the edge of the map, and if Azag chases them, this entire dwarf army isn't going to have to deal with Azag, while this hero gyrocopter just takes a beating. So if Zach's aware of that and he's really good at kind of kiting here, that could be actually really, really big. Now, the other gyrocopter is going to be advancing through the forest, and the gyros have 100 armor, so the Wolf Rider archers aren't going to be like lethal to them. It's not going to be that bad. So, yeah, we'll see how it goes for sure. So you can see here the gyrocopter going to be drifting about, looking for the goodies, looking for opportunities to find some pressure here on the back line. But there are Orc airboys as well, so Riggsen very aware of the situation. But I like what Zach's doing. I mean, he's advancing through kind of the forest line, and now he can kind of just push through here. And it's only a matter of time before the Rocklobbers and company really start to take a beating. Rune of Wrath and Ruin is going to be going down on the Morgrub's Magi Marauders. Don't know if that's worth it, but I mean, because he doesn't have any way to capitalize on that. It's just going to be a little bit of HP damage. One gyrocopter is offline though. It's in the Shadow Realm for sure. Riggsen being very methodical to make sure he pushes that off. But at what cost? I mean, the dwarves need to capitalize. They need to push out now. Like, while Azag is away from the fight, they need to get in there and just start causing problems for sure. The dwarves are advancing. Hammers are in good shape. I mean, the ones in the middle, the Pete Gate Guard, have taken some substantial damage, which is a little bit unfortunate for them. Hey, Wicked Z, thanks for joining, man. Good to see you, brother. Hope you're doing well. And we're here in this best of 7, a little bit laggier than usual, but again, you know, players from, you know, different countries oftentimes can have lag when they connect to one another, so it could be something with me. I don't think so. I played a bunch of quick battles before this, and I was having 0 issues, so I always do that before streams. I play, like, you know, 3 or 4 quick battles to make sure it's not lagging. So here, the Runesmith and dwarves are going to be advancing inward. Black Orcs are ready to meet them, but, you know, Pete Gateguard can put a good hammering on Black Orcs. Like, they win pretty heavily in an objective like 1v1 cockfight. And Azag's coming back, but he's pretty far. I mean, Azag is off in the Shadow Realm over here. So we're going to see what happens there. Gyrocopter is still pressuring the back line a little bit, but the Magi Marauders and company are a pretty good counter against Gyro. So the Gyrocopter investment certainly not paying off so far for Zach, but we're going to see if he can kind of stabilize that situation. Now, the Hammers are taking, you know, a bit of a walloping here, and they're going to be fighting Black Orcs 2-1, which is really rough. Plus Skulkers coming in. Oof, that's going to be painful. Blasting Charge is coming in from Ironbreakers, going to be shrekking these guys, and High King Thorgrim is just not waiting for his fellow dwarves. He's like, screw this shit. I got the Dambus Kron is full. I got to get in there and have some fun. I actually had some bacon this morning as well, Wicked. So, hey, what's up, Misha? Welcome, welcome. The crew is here. The fire rises. High King Thorgrim going to be just slapping the base on some of these Black Orcs, doing huge damage. Hammer is pushing in, and Gyrocopter is actually going in for a melee attack on the back of the Goblin Rocklobber, which is interesting. And the Hammer should be able to obviously beat Nasty Skulkers, but at what cost? So the Dwarves have engaged here, and it's looking pretty grim for the Dawi, I must say. I think they're taking a lot of damage here, and the Hammers are fighting, you know, a tough situation. Although they still have a lot of blasting charges. Thorgrim's pretty meaty. A good Spirit Leech coming in from Azag right here on top of the Pete Gateguard. And I don't know, Thorgrim stands alone. I mean, if Thorgrim has to fight Black Orcs plus Azag, he's going to lose that fight pretty heavily. And you can see the Dwarf armies just kind of being picked apart. It's the artillery did a ton of damage before they got there. The Gyrocopters are essentially, you know, 16 and 1700 gold worth of not doing anything this game, which is a little bit unfortunate. Blasting Charge is shooting in as well, and Dwarves are still continuing to fight. I think maybe if the Dawi can start to compromise some artillery pieces, but they just don't have the mobility for that. Skulkers with the gank on the Ironbreakers is going to be good as well, and the Hammers are just kind of folding. I mean, 28 kills, not paying for themselves, that's for sure. Over here we have a bit of a better situation for the Dwarves. The Hammers are able to crump on some of the Orc Airboys, and we have the Norgumlings Ironbreakers getting ready to kind of push the flanks here. So some of the artillery pieces for the Greenskins are offline. So the Dwarves are actually making a bit of a rally here. The Bounce Power does pull back towards the middle as the Dwarven Persistence. It's still looking tough for them, I think. Azag certainly, you know, getting his money's worth, but I think chasing the Gyrocopters may actually lose him the game. If he chases this Gyro and just Benny Hills around the map, like, I think he could actually lose. Because Azag, like, if you were here right now, could be really punishing Thorgrim or killing Hammers, but instead, he's just chasing a Gyrocopter around the battlefield, which is suddenly making the Gyrocopter, you know, pay for itself. Like, that's a really, really good, you know, trade there. Hammer is going to continue surging in. Certainly need to shut down the Doomdiver catapults, and we still have another group of Norgumlings Ironbreakers coming in. And High King Thorgrim and his Runesmith are in a tough fight versus Black Orcs. They could certainly use some support. I mean, if some of these Grumbling Guard could get in there, these Black Orcs would fold, like, instantly. So Black Orcs on this side of the battlefield, over by the main deployment zone, are able to finish off the Hammers, but the Hammers, 44 kills, that's not the best. Ironbreakers are able to finish off some nasty Skulkers, but they certainly took a lot of damage in doing so. And Azag's still making that mistake of chasing the Gyrocopter around the battlefield. He needs to get back in there, because he's the difference maker, right? And now the Dwarves are kind of clawing their way back into the game here. They're starting to beat down the Black Orcs, and you know, they're rallying in multiple areas. The artillery pieces for the Greenskins are offline for the most part. It looks like there's still one online here, but Riggsen, of course, a very solid tournament player here, knows that he can simply pull his Doomdiver crew and just run away. So they're going to be waddling away and should be able to come back in the late game whenever he wants to. Hammers here have re-engaged with the help of some Ironbreakers. May be able to put up a good fight here, but with Azag coming in, the Slaughter himself going to be doing a ton of damage against these guys, and it's going to be a tough situation for these elite Dwarves. But they're holding on. They're certainly true to their name, just kind of holding to the bitter end here. And you can see Nordgling's Ironbreakers still have 73 models, which is quite good. These Black Orcs are folding. Thorgrim's taken a ton of damage fighting those Black Orcs, so if only he had some support from the Grumbling Guard or something, man, that would have been invaluable. Ironbreaker's going to be surging back here, trying to shut down the artillery piece again. Taking a lot of fire for sure, but my concern is that like this whole Dwarven pocket is going to be taken out by the Greenskins, and it's basically just going to be the Nordgling's Ironbreakers in the bitter end, just holding by themselves, surrounded, and it's going to be a little bit tough. So yeah, it's going. Right here you can see the Grumbling Guard still holding firm, able to beat down Skulkers, but taking a lot of damage in the process. Skulkers have great AP, and Azag is able to chase off this Runesmith. I have no idea how the bounce power is actually still even. Like, I feel like the Greenskins are really just in a commanding position right now. But again, I guess they have a lot of archers and stuff, and a lot of their gold is in their artillery pieces, none of which is firing right now, so maybe that's what it is. But here you can see that the Nordgling's Ironbreakers trying their best for sure. But yeah, oh my god, the crew is going in. The Goblin crew, the brave patriots of the Greenskin people, charging in and taking a beating here from the Nordgling's Ironbreakers. Those goblins, they're carrying some weight for sure. And oh, one of the gyros comes back as well and is going to be shooting the Greenskin artillery piece here. And you can see here in the main fight that Thorgrim and company are going to be fighting. So yeah, it's going. It's going. The dwarves are doing their thing. And after this game, I'll try and rehost with these guys, and we'll see if we can subside the get rid of the lag problem. I mean, maybe just rehosting alone will do it. Who knows? Because they said they played the other day and didn't have too much lag. So, Grumbling Guard and company are fighting to the bitter end here. Ironbreaker's fighting as well. The good thing for the dwarves is now Thorgrim has been brought to his troop, so he is going to be buffing up these guys. But it's just, I don't think he has enough steam to deal with this. Azag is like full health. He's just got a full chub right now. And man, he's going to be able to finish these guys off. Oath of Vengeance has been popped, putting his melee defense to a whopping 0, but there's nothing to really capitalize on that. And Thorgrim and company fighting. He's got some Grumbling Guard here. Ironbreakers are fighting. And the Gyrocopters are, kind of pulling their weight as well. How is this bounce of power keep going back towards the middle? These Dawi just do not want to go quietly. So the Gyrocopter actually getting some pretty good value here, shooting against the Goblin Rockclobber. Man, if the Dwarves won this, that would be an insane victory. That would be an insane victory. Man, just absolute ludicrous situation. So, oh, this is what's going on. Okay, so Azag landed to duel Thorgrim, but Thorgrim is no fool. Thorgrim's going to be able to do some huge damage. Oath of Vengeance is still active, so his melee defense is actually 0. And Thorgrim's able to chase Azag away, which is a pretty glorious situation for sure. We have a lot of hammers coming back in as well. And the Nordgling's Ironbreakers, these guys got to be getting tired at this point. They're just like literally like chasing back and forth and going after artillery pieces. But Thorgrim is just, yeah, man, Thorgrim's meaty. 2.3, Azag's 2.8. And it looks like he's going to be coming back in, but Thorgrim shouts to his fellow Jawi, stand your ground. And he's going to be turning around and laying a beating on Azag. Maybe. I mean, the Black Orcs here are probably going to buckle off. Oh, Thorgrim turns around in his toilet seat. Oh, it's on. And Azag's going to get away, I think. If he runs, I mean, he could easily get away. But Thorgrim just sitting there for a second. He's like, you know what? Let me write his name down first before I hit him. So he makes contact, does about 400 damage. He's got 500 weapon strength, which is very substantial. And he gets another attack there, staggering Azag, actually. So that advantage goes to the dwarves. Oh my god, the dwarves are holding here! Somehow, some way. And suddenly, like, you just take a look at the battlefield. And you can see that the Greenskins are looking very, very tattered right now, guys. It's going to come down to the duel with Azag. If Azag is able to finish off Thorgrim, I think that the Greenskins will win this for sure. Spirit Leech is going to be getting dropped in the Ironbreakers. I'm surprised he didn't actually use that on Thorgrim there. I guess he's just trying to polish off these troops. Oh, Thorgrim's coming! His dwarves are pumping those legs! Foe Seeker popped! Is he going to get the damage? It looks like Azag was able to dodge that one. He escapes the Damas Kron. But guys, the bounce power is actually ebbing into the favor of the dwarves a little bit. Here, the Nordgling's Ironbreakers are chasing down the Goblin crews, which is pretty ridiculous. Orc Archers are coming back online, and the Gyrocopter is still going, which is actually really bad for the Greenskins, because the Gyrocopter is going to be able to go pick off all these crews that he normally couldn't catch. What voice do you want, John Doe? My Thorgrim voice? I could do some good dwarf voices, I feel. So the Thorgrim here is going to be fighting, beating down Black Orcs and Orc Archers. And now I think Riggsen is he's realizing, he's like, I need to stabilize what's left of my artillery pieces. If the Steamdiver Catapult can get back online and just shoot at Thorgrim or the Gyrocopters, that's going to be really big. He's out of ammo with pretty much everything. And Thorgrim, the High King of the Dawi, just exacting oaths of vengeance here. Oh my god, this is crazy. This is such a close game. Azag and this guy going to be swooping in, thinking about charging with Thorgrim, just there glaring at him. Oh, but he baits out the Oath of Vengeance. Great play there by Riggsen. And now he's going to be dropping a sweet Spirit Leech there, which might be enough to finish off these Gyrocopters. Might actually kill a crew, or kill one of them. 300. And they're wavering. 10. And the last Spirit Leech coming in. Is it going to get a gyro? They're broken, but they're probably going to come back, to be honest. Thorgrim here is pretty low. Greenskins are pulling ahead in the bounce of power again. Hammers are coming back out of the forest. Ironbreakers, if the Ironbreakers are able to unify with Thorgrim, that's actually going to be really, really dangerous here for the Greenskins. Because that's like, then they get the melee attack buff, they get the leadership buff. I mean, there's going to be a lot of stuff that's going to make it very, very hard for them. Gyrocopters are broken off, and it looks like they're going to be running off the map. I mean, those guys did put in some work for sure. Hammers, fight for the king. I'm pretty sure that in the lore, like in the lore as it pertains to dwarves, the hammers are like the elite bodyguard of the lords and thanes and stuff. Ironbreakers are the ones who like go into the tunnels in the undercities and like clean out Skaven and like orcs and tunnels and goblins. Like Ironbreakers are the elite tunnel fighters basically. So they're just meant to be super tanky and durable and just, you know, take a beating and whatnot. So Ironbreaker's still here, guys. Azag is going to be cleaning up the scraps. Obviously, very veteran play here. If you're ever in a very close fight and there's anything free around the map. But these dwarves, they're not giving it up for free. Oh my god, these hammers. There's 4 of them and 12 and 6. And they put a beating on Azag. Oh my god. 12. Yeah, those like 20 dwarves just did like 500 HP damage against Azag there. And Azag's like, screw this shit, I'm out. Oh, and then the Grumbling Guard come in and do another 200 damage. Oh my god, these dwarves are just beast moding it right now. I cannot believe this game here. Zach is just rallying. It's like the scene in The Hobbit when the dwarves rally to the king. They're like, rally to the king! Oh my god, this is insane. So Thorgrim and company going to be coming in. They're going to be going after these Orc Air Boys. The Orc Air Boys got to come in. I don't know, Thorgrim might be too healthy for Azag now. He takes that charge like an absolute champion. Takes 400 damage. Oh, Azag got some big blows there, though. The Oath of Vengeance has been popped. Is Azag going to get away? Looks like he is. Man, that was a big turning point, potentially. Because Azag was able to do like 800 damage to Thorgrim right there. That was nasty. And now he gets a rear charge into these hammers, who are doing well against Orc Air Boys, but I don't know, guys. This is a close one. Goblin Wolf Rider is going to be charging into the back of these dwarves here, who are just not folding. The High King motivates his people. Oh no, this is really bad. Riggsen, if he gets caught in the back by Thorgrim, oh, he's able to get away. But he has 1,000 HP. Thorgrim has 1,000 HP, guys. This is the duel of duels. And the dwarves are able to crump that pocket of Orc Air Boys, and now they're going to be surging over here. And if Azag has no other troops on the ground to fight, oh no, but this is really bad for the dwarves. Look at this, Riggsen with the plays, coming in with the Doomdiver catapults here in the 4th quarter, which he was hiding. And now the Doomdiver catapults are going to be shooting in and doing massive damage against the dwarf leadership. That Doomdiver catapult could probably snipe out Thorgrim. And the dwarves are too slow to get back here and shut it down. No gyrocopters. So the dwarves realizing this now. The greenskins with their tricky schemes. Oh my god. The schemes are real here in this best of 7. And the rest of Thorgrim's forces are starting to buckle up a little bit. Norgrimling's Ironbreakers are, of course, holding. But the Goblin Rocklobber and the Doomdiver catapult being back online is massive. Like, the value from that is just... it can't even articulate that. That is just a big value train. Azag thinking about getting in there, but the artillery pieces are both shooting. Dwarves are taking some heavy damage for sure. You can see the Rocklobber starting to tear into the Ironbreakers here. And the problem is the crews can simply just run. Azag is able to finally clean up shop here a little bit. But a couple dwarves are going to get in there and maybe get some blows against him. We'll find out. Nope, he's able to get away unscathed. Thorgrim is going to turn around and should be able to maybe shatter these Wolf Riders at this point. They're just so beat up. How are these Morgrim's Mage Marauders still going? I mean, they're just goblins. Thorgrim should be able to break those guys. Yeah, they're running, but they're not broken. 450 HP. It's nothing to sneeze at. Oh, and the Wolf Rider's coming out of the forest, and a 3rd win here for the Greenskins. It's literally the 3rd win of this battle here. And the Ironbreakers should be able to get in here and finish off this Doomdiver catapult, which is a good... they really need to, because it's doing a ton of damage. And that crew should be going down here in a second. Ironbreakers should make pretty quick work of them. They have 53 melee attack right now. Although they're wavering themselves, taking a huge Rocklobber blow to the face. This bounce of power is just obscene. It's just absurd. Oh, man. And then the High King stands alone. The High King stands alone against this foul threat of the Greenskins. Is he going to be able to do it? Oath of Vengeance getting popped as well. And is he getting that attack in? He's not attacking quite yet. He's trying to turn his toilet seat to face him. Is the High King going to be able to pull this one out? He gets a really big blow here against Azag. Azag better pull out of there, dude. He needs to get away. Are there any dwarves who can rally to the king? Okay, some Ironbreakers are back, which are probably going to go shut down the Doomdiver catapults, I would imagine. No, they get pushed off here, actually. High King Thorgrim going. He's going strong. He's going strong. High King Thorgrim going to be turning and fighting Azag. Oh, and he breaks to army losses. And that is it. The Greenskins take out that victory from the clutches of defeat. I mean, both players were defeated multiple times, and they came back. Oh, my goodness. That was absolute insanity. I can't believe that game. Like, both players just played super well. And Riggsen is going to get on the board now. So now we have a 2-1 series, guys. And a couple donations coming in as well. I missed. Let's play with the 2. He says, slap the base. Dude, the base is being slapped. And then Sunglare, the Hungarian, says, just a reminder for the viewers, smash that like button. Please do. Please do, my friends. And welcome. GG indeed. My poor brain isn't equipped for that at this time in the morning, he says. You guys want to try and rehost to fix lag? We'll see. Cool. So we're going to try rehosting real quick. Gork, that was a crazy game. So we're going to rehost real quick to see if it fixes the lag. He is in Australia, which I know tends to have some issues with lag. So we'll see if maybe if us connecting to him solves the problem, since he'll be the host. All right, so he needs to open a spec slot. Come on, get that spec slot. That was a really good match. The catapult play was great. Oh yeah, no, Riggsen. Riggsen, switch sides so I don't have to change the scoreboard. Come on. Hopefully he sees the message. Yes, he did it. So troll country. And Zach will be joining here in a second. This stream is rigged with Riggsen. Oh my god. You guys are out of control. So we're gonna be on troll country for our next map. And we have another donation on the PayPal coming in. And I believe it's from Garland Green again. So my apologies if I missed that during game, but thank you so much for the $10, man. He might be invisible, so let's check. All right, so you know how it is with friends list and everything. All right, let's see here. Shenanigans are afoot. Turin, what do you reckon? Why do you reckon he brought a non-armor piercing arrow boys and wolf riders? So Kiosk TV, the thing about orc arrow boys is goblins have like 2 armor piercing damage, 1 or 2. It's really low, and orc arrow boys have 6. So even though it doesn't say armor piercing in the tooltip, they still have better armor piercing values than goblins, and it does give you an answer against like gyrocopters, and you know having missile pressure is always like useful, right? So that's the reason why he brought those. Hey, Wicked, if you could drop a Discord link, that would be greatly appreciated, brother. And thanks again for your help in controlling the Slanesh bots and the other deviants of the realm. And he's here. All right. So let's see how this goes. Hopefully it'll be a little bit less laggy. Those games weren't too bad. I mean, the first couple weren't so laggy, but then it got a little bit laggier as we went on. So I'm like, all right, let's try this out. But worst case scenario, it's still watchable. So we'll push through it. So 2-1. So Riggsen is on the board, guys. It's a best of 7. We'll see if this will be the first best of 7 in a long time to actually go to game 7. I thought we might have a couple the other day, but you know, it is what it is. Misha, Thank you so much for dropping the Discord link. As well as Wicked. You guys are awesome. Thank you for all you do in the mod community. There you go. This is lore painful? What, Beastmen versus... I'll pick Beastmen and ban Vampire counts, so Riggsen is going to pick now. I actually have to put up a screen blocker because I accidentally clicked on his army there, which is unfortunate. Curse the Baggins, you know? Just curse all the Bagginses. So let's get... let's find a screen blocker here that is adequate. I think Thorgrim is a good screen blocker. You know, he's kind of got that like angry demeanor. There we go. Perfect. Perfect, perfect. So we're here in game 4 in this best of 7. Zach currently up 2-1. Many people considered him to be the underdog here in the series, as he is a little bit newer to the multiplayer community, but man, he has got some good control. These have been great games. 300 likes for the Hammerer build. The Hammerer build almost worked too. Riggsen going with Dinos. Dinos versus Beastmen. I think a matchup that heavily favors the Dinos, but we'll see. We'll see. I mean, Zach is he's got some tricksy builds. But Riggsen's build, from what I can see right now, looks great. It's solid. It showed Empire versus Dwarves. Ah, Jake. No. I don't know why that was showing. That's weird. One man's way. Glad you're enjoying the best of 7s, man. Thorgrim's, look how giant his freaking paws are. It's insane. You know, perhaps I could, Fraser. Perhaps I could. Not a bad idea. So the build looking pretty good for Riggsen. Somewhat similar to the Lizardman build we saw the other day on stream, actually, against Beastmen. And I'm going to take a look at Zach's army because I can. We have a screen blocker. Oh, no, I'm not spec mode anymore, so I can't actually look at their armies. Oh, that's unfortunate. You know, I never played Company of Heroes. I heard it was quite good. And it was pretty big. I mean, it was a big game, right? Like, a lot of YouTubers grew pretty big off that. But my favorite RTS games are Warcraft 3. Warcraft 3, StarCraft. Those were my jams back in the day. And, of course, I played pretty heavily in Shogun 2, competitive, and Rome 1. Although it wasn't, like, super competitive. It was just ladder battles and things like that. So the screen blocker is used so that if one of the players accidentally jumps onto the stream to chat with you guys or something, they can't see their opponent's army. Otherwise, that would be unfair. Yeah, best of 7s are a good format. It really tests the skill of the players. And, like, it's not just like had we done a best of 3, you know, Zach would have won, right? But with the best of 7, it really gives Riggsen a chance to come back. And I think it's a little bit, as a player, I would prefer a best of 5 or a best of 7. If time permits it, of course. Yeah. Yeah, siege battles are, they're just not balanced very well. Like, so essentially how siege battles work is that the attacker gets more money because the defender has towers, but the towers just suck and can be abused. So it's, I don't know. Dawn of War 1. I never played the Dawn of War series. As a matter of fact, I was actually playing Warcraft 3 yesterday, and I had just finished recording 3 Total War battles, and I just finished recording 3 battles for Total War Warhammer. And I was like, oh, you know, I'm just going to go do like a rush strategy and record it. So I recorded this game. It's Warcraft 3. And I ended up playing a 58-minute battle versus this guy. All the gold mines ran out. All we had were our heroes. And it was like the most absurdly close game I've ever had in Warcraft 3, or at least in years. And it was so good. It'll be going up on the channel this week, so. I will be doing Warcraft Reforged, yes. I will. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. Riggsen making some big changes to his build here in the last second. Big changes. I can tell you there's some dinosaurs in his build. Chaos probably isn't my best faction anymore. My best faction is probably Vampire Coast, Skaven, Chaos. Those are probably my better factions. I'm not like super good at a lot of other factions, but I mean I can pass at other ones, but those are like the ones I can compete with good players. I'm okay. I'm pretty good at Norska. Besides Everchosen, have you tried to... It would be really cool if Creative Assembly had an official Total War League. That would be really fun. You know, that'd be something I could talk about with them. Like maybe making the ECL like an official league for them, like where it's streamed on their platform and stuff. I don't know, but the format would have to really change. Like it would have to be less casual, you know. Like I couldn't like just chat and answer questions in the same way and whatnot. Snuffleupagus, thank you so much for the 20 Canadian dollars. He says, buy a pizza. Thanks for the consistently great content. Well, thank you for consistently supporting me, man. I appreciate your support, and hopefully you're enjoying the stream. It's going to be good. Oh my god, that Warcraft 3 game was brutal. I was undead, he was orcs. Like we both had like level 8 heroes, like 3 of them. It was just intense. What race do I like the most thematically? Dwarves. Dwarves and Empire. For sure. I think we could see a Cygor. It's not that. Cygors aren't that good. He's probably going to use like Minotaurs, I would imagine, with like great weapons and things like that. Zach's like, I don't know what to take. Dude, get wild, Zach. Get wild, man. Honestly, against Lizardmen, I would say like Vestigors and Centaurs with throwing axes are really good choices. You use the front line of Vestigors to hammer their infantry. Vestigors beat most Dino infantry, and then you bring Centaurs with throwing axes to go after big dinos, plus regular Centaurs to chase down salamanders, and then you can mix in like the Butchers of Kalkengard to fight against the big dinos. And Morker is pretty good. Chaos Spawn Summon is always solid. I mean, there's a number of ways to play this matchup. It is an advantage for the dinos, but Riggsen says that makes 2 of us. He's like switching his troops nonstop. Travis Schaefer says, Turin, can you control more than one army and faction and play against yourself? I have no idea. I don't think that's possible, Travis. Maybe there's a mod for that, but I'm not aware of that. Have you ever played Disciples 2? I have not. Oh, you could get pizza for $20 here for sure. Like just from like Pizza Hut or like one of those like Domino's or something. Oh, for sure. I mean, it wouldn't be huge, but like a personal size pizza, yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, Little Caesars, $11. Papa John's, you name it. Papa John's, if you're listening, give me that sweet sponsorship money, man. Alrighty, it's time. We're on the troll country. Let's see how this. They both load in very quickly, so it's not their PCs. It's definitely the internet. But we'll find out. The snow is falling. Seems to be less laggy for sure. Like I'm not seeing any delay on the Salamander's movements or anything like that. All right, Screen Blocker. Thank you, Thorgrim, as always. Much appreciated. Temple Guard do well against Vestigors, Garland. Temple Guard can probably beat them. It's a pretty close fight. It depends on the charge. But yeah, I think Temple Guard do beat Vestigors, but for the Beastmen, in terms of dealing with Temple Guard, it's one of their better choices if they get the charge and they're not being like... The problem is dinos stack so many buffs, like Shield the Old Ones and things like that, so it can get pretty scary, but Vestigors, I think, are a good choice. Razorgore herds aren't bad either if they get those charges and cycle charge. So for the Lizards, it doesn't seem too laggy. This is good. So Angry Centrifuge Bobby says, hey, Turin, silent watching for years. Huge fan. I just donated a small amount for Streamlabs. Let me pop it up and see. Sorry, I usually don't see it during the battles, but thank you for the 10 euros. Andrea, thank you. I really appreciate it. And hopefully you're enjoying these new best of sevens, and I'll certainly enjoy a beer or dessert when my lovely wife gets back. We'll enjoy it together in your honor, as a matter of fact. And thank you for watching for years and supporting and all that good stuff. Life's good. Let's continue the good times. So we got Saurus Warrior here in the front line. We got a couple red-crested skinks here in the secondary, which is a nice little kind of synergy. The Saurus, pretty good against, the gore herds and like things like that. And the red-crested skinks give you a little bit of AP punch against like Vestigors and troops like that. So I like that synergy here for Riggsen. And to deal with big threats, he's got Salamanders. Now, Salamander hunting packs, if left unimpeded and if able to shoot freely, can kill Minotaurs very quickly. They can kill Cygors. They can kill Giants. I mean, they are good, but they're very susceptible to being swarmed. I mean, they have low melee defense. At 22, a single group of Centaurs pressuring them can kill them very easily. So Salamander is very much a glass cannon. He does also have an Ancient Stegodon plus Tehenwyn up on the Engine of the Gods. Oh, we're going to see some Ion Cannons. I think we're going to see Ion Cannons. So for the Beastmen, we got Centaurs, Throwing Axes, we got Hounds, so a very mobile Beastmen force. We got some Bacon over here, Koroks Manrippers, Spirit Leech, a Beast Lord, Koroks Manrippers, and Butchers of Kalkengard. A crazy build. There's like no infantry. He's like Beastonia here. But I love the Cygor pick because the Cygor is going to be able to just drop some free thunder and force the dinos out of their defensive shell, which is going to potentially allow Centaurs and Poison Hounds. Like right here, this would be perfect. Like just ganking the Saurus or coming up and around the back. Like these guys slam into the Saurus from the front, Poison Hounds in the back. You might be able to even break them. So throwing axes need to be careful though. They definitely don't want to be going down here. Salamander hunting pack's going to be closing the distance, and they are going to be a great answer against that Cygor if they get close enough. So Zach needs to be careful. He needs to start pressuring a little bit, like attacking from angles and just getting a little bit crunk. And it looks like he's going to be going for the red crested skinks here, which are a good target. Those guys are pretty buttery, but oh, he actually was not going for them. He was pathing after the hunting packs over here. Ooh, man, Zach needs to get those guys back. Now, in the meantime, some of the bacon is going to be charging in, looking for opportunities. Oh, and the herd! The herd! Wow, look at the damage they do to Saurus! The charge bonus on these piggies is no joke. So doing some really good damage for sure, but do they want to sustain combat? Maybe, actually. They are winning this fight versus Saurus. Butchers of Kalkengard in reserve, and throwing axes should be sitting on Tehenowin this entire time. Just sit on him, work him down. He's a big meaty target. Oh, this is really bad for Riggsen. If the Salamander hunting packs get picked off, that's going to be a really rough situation. But again, he still does have these two big single entities, so it's not going to be like game over. But nonetheless, Salamander is shooting into the Centaurs over here, doing some really solid damage. Centaurs are one of the few lifelines he has to take out these big targets. And the Saurus line buckling from the bacon onslaught. Razorgore Herds with the Horn of the First Beast doing a ton of damage. So that's some pretty good pressure. I was not expecting those Razorgore Herds to melt that front line like they did. That is insanity. Now in the back, one Salamander hunting pack's offline. It's only a matter of time before the other one dies. So far, Zach getting some huge value in the back line, just crumping the hunting packs, just doing brutal damage. And here we do also have the Cygor dropping some hot boulders there into the main pocket, able to get some good work. And it seems to be less laggy, still a little bit, but here and there. But for the most part, it seems to be less persistent. So the Butchers of Kalkengard coming in as well, going to be chasing down the Saurus and company and going to be getting in there. Oh, the sandwich! So Centaur slam in the front, Minotaurs from the back. Not fun for those Saurus warriors. Now, as far as the army goes, there's still a pocket of Saurus and Temple Guard. Fata Buna being dropped by the Deathcaster here, the Beast Deathcaster. A really good caster. Definitely need to work those guys down just with whatever means you can. And here on the flank, you can see the Saurus warriors with shields are going to be getting crumped pretty bad by that the Butcher onslaught, essentially. Korok's Manticore still online, and it seems that the lizards just don't have much left aside from their big monsters. Here we do have Tehenowin, and he has some Saurus kind of defending him, but we have Butchers or Korok's Manticores. We do also have Centaurs with throwing axes, and also mind you guys, the Cygors are no slouch. That guy can get in there and do some pretty good damage in melee if he has to against the big dinos. So yeah, it's a little bit scary for Tehenowin. So the Butchers of Kalkengard able to finish up that situation there. But the Summon Manticore is able to kind of temporarily hold him back. But Temple Guard are still a big threat, and the two big dinos can turn the tide of the game in a blink of an eye. So yeah, Butchers of Kalkengard need to get back here, and this is actually really bad for the dinos. Tehenowin back here a little bit overextended. Butchers of Kalkengard with the Apocalyptic Vision actually have 69 melee attack, that's what she said, and can start doing some heavy damage against Tehenowin. Centaurs with throwing axes coming in, and it looks like Zach has been able to take apart this build. Man, crazy stuff. And Tehenowin's offline. I think that's game. I do not think that the lizards can come back from this. If Tehenowin gets pushed off the battlefield, what do they have left? The Summon Manticore is giving them a false inflation in the bounce of power, but that thing will be disappearing here in about 30 seconds because it is a summon unit. So once that disappears, it's going to be a little bit spooky, and the Butchers of Kalkengard are, they're charging in there like true heroes of the people, but Salamanders might get them. No way. Butchers are weak to fire, though, so any volleys are going to be big damage. Butchers of Kalkengard should, they could easily finish those guys off. I don't think their shields help out. Oh, Salamanders, you guys are in trouble. The bulls are coming in. And the Salamanders, I guess, a niche pick against the Butchers. It's not bad, but yeah, the Butchers in melee. Oh, and Centaur's coming in. Oh, from all angles. Oh, and the Salamanders got deleted. Their source code removed. Insta-gibbed. So now we have the Thunderous one. Thunderous one is pretty strong. Or actually, no, it's just an Ancient Stegodon. So we did switch it in the fourth quarter. I didn't see that. So I think that the Ancient Stegodon here are probably going to get beaten down by the Butchers. The Butchers of Kalkengard are easily going to be able to deal with that. Although it looks like he's going to be trying to get back to his main force here. He still has Chariots as well. Beast Lord plus a Bray Shaman on Chariots, which are going to be very, very good against these infantry. Although the Manticore might be able to get in there and do some work, but no, he is a summon unit, and farewell goes the Manticore. He's like, screw this shit, I'm out of here. I do not want to be eaten by Beastmen. So the Manticore just kind of, he offs himself there. Dark stuff. Beast Lord, in the meantime, going to be charging over here, cleaning up the scraps wherever they can. And the Butchers of Kalkengard falling back, going to be trying to clean up here, while the Throwing Axe is simply skirmish and just poke down the Ancient Stegodons. And the Bacon's coming back in. Razorgore Herd's going to be charging. We've got some Hounds coming in as well. And I think it's only a matter of time before this Ancient Stegodon goes down. It's going to get surrounded. It's going to be grindy, but this is just a lot of Beastmen troops. And the Temple Guard are still online. They're going to fight the Cygor, but the Cygor should just march away. It's faster. I think it's faster. Let's go ahead and double check here. So 39 speed against the 31 of those guys. And yeah, you can see here that the Ancient Stegodon going to be just beaten down. The Butchers of Kalkengard might even alone be able to win this fight. Although, yeah, maybe not. Ancient Stegodon does have its minigun on its back, which is really good against light armor. But Throwing Axe is coming in. Centaurs could even go up and around the back of this thing and rear charge it, and it might be enough to break its leadership. The Lord's actually dead. So Henwin got pushed off, like we said earlier. And the Cygor's just, it's on a vacation. It's just going to be trotting around. I mean, no need to take this fight here. Army losses will set in pretty soon. It's usually, if you look at my mouse, to answer your question, it's like around where my mouse is right now. Army losses is usually like in this like little kind of area right here. Butchers of Kalkengard have 8 models, and they're working down this big Ancient Stegodon for sure. And I think he's just going to go finish off the Temple Guard here, which is the right choice. Man, Zach with some really good decision making today for sure. So Zach's probably going to get this force, and I mean, honestly, they're both okay choices. It doesn't really matter. He's going to get army losses in a couple seconds here. But arguably going and finishing off the Temple Guard. Oh, those are Star Chamber Guardians. Never mind. I thought they were regular Temple Guard. I mean, you could just go back there and run them down with your chariots, and then, the Cygor would then be free to just, come in and fight this thing. Fate of Buna going down. Yeah, that's brutal. That's going to trigger army losses. That's army losses. And the Beastmen with the upset over the Dinos. And a matchup that is usually hard for Beastmen. Although, it's gotten better, I think. I think that, a lot of Beastmen players have figured it out. But I still think it slightly favors Dinos. So very solid win there. His build was cool. No infantry. Like, why give them infantry? They're going to crump them. The Bacon just onslaught of that Swords front line. Like, it was just a solid build there. I really liked it. So great play by both players. And Zach is up 3-1. And if Zach wins the next game, guys, it is over. So Riggsen is on the ropes, but, Riggsen, of course, a very solid player. He could easily come back from this. So let's see what happens here. So the next map we're going to do is the Burial Mound. Burial Mound. Grudsnick. Riggsen says, I should have gone Mazda Monday. I've at least used him before. All I knew is that I was boned in the infantry fight. Yeah, that's true. Next map. Remember, it's best of 7. A lot of people actually leave if it gets to this point. ZACHBSAIN says he was scared of Croak, so he didn't bring infantry. That's fair. The Minotaurs and their bacon pets feast on the cold-blooded. They certainly did. So we got a couple donations coming in from Frederick Anderson for the 20 SEK. No message, but thank you for the support, man. Appreciate it. And Steel Bear coming in with the 40 rubles. How about sticking to a one-race tournament? I think watching the strength of this game is like watching diverse matchups. But, like, Sotek does a really good one race, like where you play one race the entire time. I think Lore Master of Sotek's tabletop tournaments are like the best form of that. For sure. It's so hot. Milk was a bad choice. Yeah, that was a game. That was a game. You know what really shocked me the most that game was how quickly the Beastmen pigs killed those Saurus. Like, I was not expecting that. Man, they crumped those guys. So Riggsen's going to be going Skaven on the Burial Mound, and Zach is going to pick, we'll find out here in a second. So he goes Skaven and he bans Tomb Kings. Let's see what he's got now. I actually think Beastmen can be a really strong faction in the hands of, like, solid players. They're very micro-intensive, so if you're not, like, good at microing units, like, Beastmen aren't going to be the best, but, yeah, something to think about. That was a great build, wasn't it, Patrick? I actually don't drink milk, but it's a really fun expression. Anchorman was like one of my favorite movies as a teenager. Oh my god, I used to know like every single quote in that movie. Just obnoxiously so. Yeah, Razorgore Herds are really solid. A Bretonian only tournament for the lady. Yeah. You, sir, are a mean boy. And Zach's going Wood Elves. Interesting. I don't know if I've seen him play Wood Elves before. He is a proper beast boy. Oh, that's right. We need a screen blocker. Well, yeah, we'll get it now. Yeah, Riggsen's still changing his army, so it doesn't really matter. The Chungus was just for last stream. He's gone for now. It's about 2 p.m. here in California, so yeah, just middle of the day. Matt, he says, Turin, back when I watched competitive Hearthstone, they had a tourney where you take 3 decks into the tourney and fight in a best of 3 against everyone else. That could actually work really well. Yeah, like you have 3 factions. And, you know, 2v2 tournament could be on the horizon. Steel Bear, maybe after I finish ECL, we'll do a 2v2 tournament for you. I would be down for that. That'd be fun. Beastmen are extremely micro-intensive, trust me. Because they're very squishy in many fronts. Greenskins are, I would say, are less skirmishy. Greenskins usually just go super wide with infantry. But Beastmen have pretty diverse playstyles. They can do rushes, they can do skirmish games, like, and it's kind of lore friendly. Like, Beastmen do hit and run stuff with Centaurs and lore, so it's like, it's pretty lore friendly. 12 a.m. in Finland, damn. You're welcome, Ivan. What's the sweetest part of the galaxy? Mars and the Milky Way. That's pretty good, Optimus Prime. That's funny, dude. Hellgast, I think that Grail Knights are good in certain matchups. I don't think they're underwhelming, but I mean, they're more niche. Like, Grail Knights and Knights of the Realm are like good in most matchups, but Grail Guardians are like... Oh, Grail Knights. I think Grail Knights are okay. They're good in some matchups, for sure. A little bit underwhelming, perhaps. I think the cheaper Bretonian Cab is often more cost-effective, but Grail Knights can do work. Summon the Elector Counts. Yeah, Greenskins certainly have thick infantry lines, to say the least. So Zach's army is ready. The Skaven army has switched since we last saw it. 6:30 a.m., same as Riggsen. Jeez, Loopy, that's brutal. Yeah, Riggsen, I think Riggsen got up early just to play in this. What a hero. What a good man. Stepping up for you guys, getting up at like 5 in the morning just to play and entertain you guys. Let's hear it for Riggsen. Zach's in the States, I think, so not too bad for him. That bacon booty be squishy. Oh my goodness. Perhaps, Patrick. That was pretty good. That was good, Wicked. I like that. Ah. The Burial Mound of Grudznik. A map I've most recently incorporated into my pool of maps for tournaments. It's actually pretty good. It's like, it has some nice hills, some little forest terrain on the edges of the map, and it looks really cool. You can see over here, there's like this big orc effigy up on the hill. Certainly very neat looking. Skaven have some pretty okay tools here. I think that Skaven chat infantry, like cheap shield and infantry, are pretty solid. Their artillery is really good against Wood Elves too. Like, you just form a defensive pocket and just force Wood Elves in. And as long as you have good enough buffering and like layers in your formation, it can be hard for Wood Elves. But oftentimes what you see Wood Elves do is Dryad rushes. Just come in with like a mass horde of Dryads and Wild Riders and just try and overwhelm your formation, which I think is probably what we're going to see from Zach. But anyways, let's get rid of the screen blocker here. Country roads. Don't worry, guys. I got you covered after that blunder the other day of leaving the screen blocker up for an hour. It wasn't actually that long. It was like 2 minutes, but still. So for the forces of ZACHBSAIN, who is currently ahead here, guys, ZACHBSAIN has a 3-1 lead. So if Riggsen drops this, it is game over. So here we got Glade Riders. No special tricks, just decent missile damage, mobile missile damage against like Rat Ogres and things like that. Also, he can use them to kind of hammer the back line if he wants to. They do have 28 melee attack, actually. Not as bad as I thought in melee. Aside from that, it's going to be a rush. It looks like Wild Riders on the flanks. He does have, oh, a true hero. A man after my heart, Orion. The Wild Hunt, sound the horn. Orion is here. And Orion is actually pretty good against Skaven. He's very tough to snipe, and he can terror out them, and he is mean indeed. Oh my god, look at this hill up here. It doesn't really matter too much, though. There's plenty of room to get around here for Wild Riders. So here we have Orion, we have Wild Riders, a bunch of Dryads. It looks like there's going to be the Wardens of Sithril, and a Branch Wraith. Oh my god, the artillery up on the hill here is so haggard looking. Look at that. Oh my god. Oh my god. So here for the Skaven, we got Skaven Slaves, Storm Vermin, which are going to be super good against Dryads. Storm Vermin on the low ground, Storm Vermin with Halberds. It's a very Storm Vermin build. I mean, just elite units with a couple Skaven Slaves buffering, Natty Bubo Sharpshooters, Warp Lightning Cannons, and then we do also have Lord Scrollk up on the hill, the Liber Bonicus. You know, that's it. It's looking good. Scrollk versus Orion. The Wild Hunt has been sounded. That's quite a hill, but, you know, it's not corner camping technically because there's plenty of room to get around the back. So if he was like deployed like right here, like I might say something about corner camping, but here is totally fine. So, and you know, honestly, if the Wood Elves like do a Vanguard, yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Look at this. So he's able to Vanguard stuff, and like he could Vanguard here and simply get up the hill very quickly. Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, that's good. He probably knows Riggsen's going to take the hill, so he's going to be vanguarding up there. Oh my goodness. The job we will finish whoever wins this battle. Probably. That's fair. That's fair, Jake. So, this is actually a little bit of trouble for the Skaven. Wardens of Sithril, a big vanguard up here. It's gonna take a lot of pressure on these guys. Although, in the back, you can see Riggsen is defending his artillery line with the Council Guard, so they are unbreakable. Like, Wood Elves should be deploying over here, I think, like in the tree line, and then just advancing. That would mitigate, like, a lot of this artillery pressure. So we have one Warp Lightning Cannon, and then the other one is going to be the Zap Cannon. So he does have the Elite Cannon. And Mel Gibson is a big target for sure, but he does have that cloak that makes him take, like, massive damage reduction when he's very low. So oftentimes you'll see Wood Elf players, well, Wood Elf players don't use him often, but when you do see him, he's used as, like, a damage sponge because he's unbreakable too. Yeah. It's happening. It's happening. The Wood Elf pressure is coming, though. Wardens of Sithril are pretty meaty for sure. They're going to be able to get in there and chew up a lot of these Skaven. Plus the Dryads up in the high ground. It's happening. Over here you can see Orion is going to be deploying in the forest. So yeah, he's kind of like probably thinking this out right now. Like, you know, if I were Riggsen in the Skaven, I would deploy up on the high ground and just sit with artillery. Like 100%. So I think he's preparing for that. Which is good. I'm glad, because if he deployed over here, it would be a little bit unfortunate. I'm glad he's reacting to this. And it's time. It is time. Looks like a vanguard from Glade Riders here. They're going to be taking a beating for sure. The Natty Bubo sharpshooters plus the 2 Warp Lightning cannons are going to roast these guys really quick. So what else are going to take a beating off the bat? They also might have some issue with that amount of Storm Vermin is another one of my concerns. Granted, Mel Gibson is really good at cleaving through hordes of Storm Vermin. And yeah, now Zach is going to be deploying everything in the forest. As a matter of fact, you can see he deployed over here. He's Wild Riders on this side. So obviously he doesn't, you know where his opponent is. So the Wild Riders a little bit out of position, but it's okay. The Mass Vanguard coming in, and the Wood Elf. Oh, look at the damage coming in. The Glade Rider's getting hammered by the Warp Lightning cannons. Oh god, that's so rough. Those guys just getting pounded. And is he going to be charging in? No, he's going in to actually shoot at some of the slingers, it looks like. He should definitely run with those guys. It's not worth it. And Dryads coming out of the I guess, metaphorical forest, more like coming out of the hills here. Dryads and the Wardens of Sithril have engaged here, so this is a good engagement for the Wood Elves here, getting this high ground position. You know, the Skaven thought they had the high ground, but the Wood Elves truly have the high ground, like up here on the Vanguard Hill. And they're going to be coming down with full force. Now, the Storm Vermin are getting in position. It looks like a Rat Summon is going to be getting dropped as well. Skaven Slave Buffer is going to be going down rather quickly, and the Wardens of Sithril do have pretty good AP value, so they should be able to fight Storm Vermin. And now we have Wild Riders coming out of the forest, and Mel Gibson sounds the horn of the Wild Hunt. Sound it! Sound it, Orion! Sound it! He should have sounded it earlier to get that charge bonus on all his guys. But anyways, he's going to be dropping a Vortex ability right here. It looks like, yeah, he's dropping the Hounds. Is that Mel Gibson one of his abilities? I can't remember. Yeah, it is. It's the Hawk's Talon. Dryads up on the high ground are fighting, doing a pretty good job clearing out Skaven Slave chaff. And yeah, the battle's underway. Some of the Skaven Slave units are actually, look at this. These Clan Rats, I think, or Skaven Slaves have just like pulled these Glade Riders like way out of position, which is pretty hilarious. Dryads coming in here, Wild Riders on the other side as well. And it looks like there's going to be a fat Rod of Corruption as well in these Dryads. But Dryads are pretty good against Skaven infantry. Obviously not so much against Storm Vermin. But here the Wardens of Sithril are just cutting through these Storm Vermin. They have great AP, 56 melee attack. That's going to be brutal against the Storm Vermin, who now have 60 armor due to the armor sundering. Now Orion's coming in. Oh, Mel's coming. Big Papa Mel charging the hill. And he's actually probably going to terror out these Storm Vermin. And the Storm Vermin get terror routed by Mel Gibson, I think. It looks like it. Yep, terror out coming in. And now suddenly the Wardens of Sithril have a straight line here. Oh, man. Some of the Skaven Slaves are buckling. If ZACHBSAIN sees this and he actually gets back here, man, that could be super destructive. So Bounce Bar is pretty even, actually. We got Wild Riders on the low ground who are coming in from their deep deployment. Going to be chasing down the Skaven Slave Slingers. Not sure if it's worth it, really, but I guess you need to shut them down eventually. Dryads are still fighting really well, and the Horn of the Wild Hunt has been sounded, so the charge bonus of everyone is just extremely fat right now. And the Wardens of Sithril are now fighting Storm Vermin with halberds, but Orion just, he's like, freedom! And he's just charging up the hill, going after this artillery piece. Oh, is he going to get it? I love how he punts rats as he charges. He's going to start attacking here. Oh, Wild Riders have snuck by too. And Orion just cleaves one of those artillery pieces. He just gets his staff or his spear and just takes one out with one thrust. It looks like some of the Storm Vermin are able to kind of rally here, though. They're holding back the Dryads. Wardens of Sithril are fighting some, 2 groups of elite troops, which might be enough to wear those guys down. But as far as kills, they're doing very good. 133 right now, certainly no joke. Council Guard on the high ground fighting a good fight against Dryads. But it looks like the Skaven artillery is for the most part offline. The Wild Riders have slammed into the edge of this formation, and it looks like this artillery crew should be breaking here. -8, and they're broken, and it looks like Mel Gibson is easily going to be able to finish off this Warp Lightning Cannon. So very even fight, guys. It's pretty close, but I think the Woodies are pulling ahead here. They still have a full health group of Wild Riders. Dryads are still fighting. Mel Gibson is going to hunt that filthy rat into another dimension. And there's only so many Storm Vermin left fighting. I mean, up here we have the Council Guard holding, but Orion's going to be dropping the Hounds of Mel Gibson. Oh, release the Hounds. And the Hounds are going to get jumped all over those guys, eating some of these guys, but oh my god, that's so haggard looking, those Hounds. I love it. And it does some pretty good work. Council Guard are able to win that fight. Riggsen's on the ropes, guys. He's got to fight back here. Skrulk is going in. Oh no, do not fight Orion, Skrulk. He's trying to get to his Council Guard, which is a smart play, trying to get to that Elite Guardian. But it just seems like all the Skaven guns are now offline. There's no sharpshooters. Both Warp-Lightning cannons have been compromised. Skaven Elite Infantry are doing pretty good, though. Storm Vermin are able to win those fights, but man, Orion's going to be so tough to deal with. Because he can run, too. Orion can run away and use his freaking missile attacks if he wants to. And just go ham bone. Although this is pretty good for Riggsen, though. He's got the Council Guard here as well. So he does have an anti-large, but Skrulk is going to get buttered by Orion in a fight. I can't tell you how many games Orion has just annihilated Skrulk. I cannot just express that. So the Rod of Corruption is going to be going down here as well. Just slapping the base on these guys. And Orion up on the high ground with Foe Seeker. He's just the hunt is on. Maybe he's going to try and terrify these guys. He might actually go try and free up the Wardens of Sithril, who are up to 166 kills. Man, the Wardens are doing really good. But this is the worst thing for the Skaven here, is the fact that the Wild Riders are still here. They're going to be able to cycle charge these units into oblivion. And it's going to be really lethal for sure. Who let the dogs out? Orion let the dogs out, that's for sure. I know, that was a good William Wallace, wasn't it? I thought it was good. So here, the Wild Riders going to be charging in and hammering the Warp Lightning Cannon crew, which is a good choice. Just making sure they don't come back in the late game. That is what cost Zach one of his earlier battles, right? The Skaven were able to rally in the fourth quarter and, get their artillery back online. And Orion, he probably still has his Hawk's Talon and his Hounds, but there's still a lot of Skaven guys. Aside from that, there's not too many Wood Elves left. There's some Wild Riders here in the distance, which are going to chase down some Skaven slaves with slingers. Not much aside from that, though. Wild Riders doing some jukes. Actually, I don't know. I think that Riggsen might be able to pull this one out because Orion is going to have to fight the Council Guard eventually. And there's a ton of anti-large here, and for those of you guys that don't know, Orion is, Orion is a big target. Like, he's large. So that's going to be a little bit tricky. In the meantime, Lord Skrulk and company trying to head off the Wild Riders here, but there's no artillery, so Zach has complete freedom there. And Orion's now throwing his spears, and it looks like he might be throwing his spears after the Council Guard. Let's go ahead and see where he's throwing. We'll take a look down here at the low level. Where's he going? He gets that Olympic arm going, and boom, the spear throw into the Council Guard. I mean, those are the biggest threat to him, because Orion can terror out like everything here, but if the Council Guards stay and fight, they might be able to actually kill him. Dryad's coming back in. It's going to be helpful getting those guys. Maybe you want to get them with Orion, though, before you fight. He's trying to actually terror out these Skaven slave spears off the battlefield, I think. No, he's still throwing at the Storm Vermin with his spears. The Wild Rider formation here is going to be just hard to deal with, plus he has the Glade Riders with Hagbane tips, which are just cleaning up the scraps. So these Skaven slaves with spears are offline, and I think that Zach, it's such a close fight. This is like too close to call. I think that Zach has a chance because Orion's healthy. He heals himself when he gets low. Plus, the Wild Riders are going to be able to pick off so many loose units on the map. Like these Storm Vermin here, if they take a full charge, they're probably going to break, especially with Orion nearby. And if Orion can terror out anything, he does cause terror. I mean, look at that thing. Mel Gibson most certainly causes terror. Anything that gets terror routed can get chased off by the Wild Riders. So there's a great synergy left here for the Wood Elf army. Skrulk's coming in, but he needs to be careful. I mean, he'll get spit roasted by Orion. Orion has 68 melee attack and hits like an absolute truck. He has 512 weapon strength. That is beast mode. Now, this is something to consider. If Orion has his AoEs, if he has the Hounds of Mel Gibson or the Hawk's Talon and the Skaven blob up on him like this, they could actually die very quickly. Wild Riders, in the meantime, just chasing down scraps. Oh man, they need to charge in here. Just kill these Skaven slaves and get these Storm Vermin. Riggsen's doing what he can, Like, he has the Council Guard in a good formation. Oh man. Oh, is his Branch Wraith still online? Oh, and a huge Pendulum tears into that Skaven force. That was a great Pendulum. But look at this, guys. Orion's taking a lot of damage. Skrulk actually getting in there with his sensor and doing some work. And he is going to be summoning some more rats. Oh, and Liber Bubonicus coming down. The Plague Rat, dropping that sweet Plague Thunder. Orion is going down. That Liber did so much damage. But now the Cloak of Isha is active. So he has a massive ward save now. Earthblood's going to be getting pops on him, and he's going to be trying to run. Man, that was a really good Liber by Riggsen. Beautiful play. Good timing there, waiting for the Alpha Strike. And Skaven do pull ahead on the bounce power. Wild Riders are slamming into this formation. A nice little sandwich here. Might be able to break a lot of these troops here. Oh man, look at that. And the Orion bombardment ability doing a lot of work. But these Storm Vermin are not breaking. They're holding really well, actually. The Wild Riders, the Horn of the Wild Hunt has been sounded. Oh man, that's actually... Zach had a Branch Wraith? Where's this thing been this whole time? The Branch Wraith needs to be in here helping the fight. I mean, if the Branch Wraith comes in with the Dryads and the Wild Rider Hammer, he could probably break this whole Skaven force, assuming Orion doesn't die here. So Orion needs to get back. Yeah, he needs to time an Alpha Strike with that Branch Wraith. Branch Wraiths are really strong in melee, actually. They're really, really strong. So the Branch Wraith needs to get in there. Wild Riders can clean up these scraps here. You can see that, like, anytime anything gets separated from the main herd, he needs to take them out. I mean, the Council Guard, though, they're unbreakable, so I guess it's not going to be as good there. Orion needs to run. The Summon Skaven are disappearing. The Branch Wraith needs to get in there and fight, though. I'm not sure. Oh, why is he stopping? It looks like he's continuing to move. 952 HP. He's very, very low here. And the Cav are going to be going after the Storm Vermin here on the flanks, which is a good play. Like, there's no point to take the fight until you absolutely clean up as much as you can. So those Storm Vermin are broken. These ones are going to break as well. That's really good. That's 2 groups of Storm Vermin offline, like, instantly. And the Council Guard are chasing, so is Skrulk. You know, what this Skaven could do is just, like, Helm's Deep somewhere, but if they sit still, the problem is that Orion has his Javelin. So the Javelin is going to be extremely punishing against, like, you know, camping, right? If you just camp, he's just going to sit and spear you all day. He still has, you know, a fair amount of shots left with his spear, his throwing spear. So he's forming up his Helm's Deep here, the Branch Wraith and company. Oh, a downhill charge here could be very punishing. Beautiful Earthblood right there, hitting everyone. Orion's Spear coming in, doing a lot of damage. Oh my god, this is just so... This is so close. Are the Skaven going to be able to catch him? Oh, okay, they're just saying, are you ready? So here we have a downhill charge from the Glade Riders. They're going to take some casualties here, though, for sure. You can see they lose a couple models instantly. This is basically just buying time for Orion to fight. I think he wants Orion to kind of try and tear out some of the Storm Vermin. Stand Your Ground has been popped. And Rod of Corruption, very, very good catch there. I mean, they're trading tit for tat. Skaven get the Glade Riders, Wild Riders get the Storm Vermin. I mean, they're both just going back and forth here. Orion's in the fight. Oh, and this could be it. This could be the death thrust, the death blow. The Wild Rider charge coming in the back, hammering the Skaven. Oh, and with Orion's terror, there's probably going to be a mass terror route. Sound the horn of the Wild Hunt as Orion's forces collapse here and doing a lot of damage. That Branch Wraith needs to fight, though. I'm not sure why he's holding it back. I think that's a big mistake. Orion's doing a great job. Scroll of Shielding active as well. And some Summon Rats have come out of the ground here, so now it's time for the Wild Riders and company to disengage. And the Council Guard are looking very low. They only have 26 models. They took a hammering from that rear charge there. Orion's fighting, though. This is really risky. If Orion dies, that's game over. He gets a nice lancing hit there on Skrulk, able to kind of knock him back. I don't know. The Branch Wraith needs to come out, though. Come fight, Branch Wraith. Maybe he doesn't want the Branch Wraith to fight, because if it does commit to the fight, then it won't be able to get away. Earthblood gets popped on Orion. He's healing pretty well. And it looks like the Branch Wraith is coming out of the forest now. Wild Riders continuing to just kind of hammer back and forth, getting rid of scraps wherever they can. There's only 20 Council Guard left, guys. Man, these games are insanely close. Like, insanely close. Orion's going. It's like, normally, like, I'm all for, you know, Wood Elves being crumped, but man, when it's Orion, it just changes everything. So the Branch Wraith is coming in, who does have the Call of the Wild, so it's going to actually be buffing Mel Gibson here. And it looks like a Rat Summon coming down as well. Some of the Storm Vermin are going to be rushing in to intercept. Orion is so low! 827 HP, but the Wild Rider is coming back in once again. Oh, and the Halberds are terrified. That's big, because now it's just 18 Council Guards. So now what Zach can do is these Halberds, 32 of them that are broken, he can simply chase them down with the Wild Riders. And the Branch Wraith here on the low ground is going to be fighting some Summoned Plague Monks, which is a good situation for the Skaven. Plague Monks have a bonus for his infantry, of course. And the Council Guard taking a huge charge again from the Wild Riders. The only way it could be more thematic is if they were the Wild Hunters of Kurnus. Up here in the high ground, Orion is going to be chasing off these Storm Vermin. You know, at the very least, because of the lag, we're able to actually see what's going on, like, every split second of it. Oh my god. The Branch Wraith getting in there. But Skrull can kill the Branch Wraith very quickly is the problem. So the Branch Wraith is very squishy against characters like Skrull. Skrull hits very hard against light armor. Wild Riders piling in, but guys, there is like nothing left for the Skaven. These Plague Monks are going to be disappearing in a second. Rod of Corruption, that was a good Rod of Corruption. It hits hits both of these guys, but it doesn't do much against single entities. But I'm also concerned that Skrulk is not going to be able to kill Orion. Like, if the Council Guard falter and Skrulk has to fight Orion plus a Branch Wraith, I'm pretty sure that that's going to be game blouses. You can see here Orion is pretty much full health. The Council Guard have 5 models left. Those Wild Riders are broken. They may come back, or they might run off the map. It's hard to say. But basically right now, Orion is going to be chasing off these Storm Vermin up here on the high ground, which is a really good choice. Like, you need to clean up everything before you take that final fight. Because if these Storm Vermin get back and help, he's going in. So these Rats are going to get punished pretty bad. Yep. Yeah, there you go. Bad situation for the Rat Boys. As Orion is just spit roasting these guys. I can imagine the cowardly discourse of these Skaven right now. Like, flee, flee, yes, yes. They're going to run back towards the hills. Orion. I mean, come on. Orion is basically a demigod. And Skrulk is like holding with his last 5 Council Guard. Zach coming in with the downhill charge on the other Storm Vermin and probably going to break them. -13. Guys, sound the clarion horn. Sound it. Orion's coming. Oh, and he spears the rat. He doesn't have to stay in combat because he has ammunition. And he still has his cav too. So he can cycle charge if he wants to. But he's just going to finish off the Council Guard here. Oh, the charge coming in. Council Guard down to 1 model. And they're done for. Oh, Skrulk. You're in the wrong neighborhood. You are in the wrong neighborhood, Skrulk. Oh, look who's coming from the hills. It's Big Daddy coming with the spear. He's like, oh, rat, you're going to get it. Where are your friends at now? Oh, my God. Orion needs to get in this fight ASAP. The Branch Wraith should not be fighting alone. Oh, he's throwing a spear just for dramatic effect. And Skrulk takes a spear to the face. Orion with another spear. His Olympic arm going to be warming up here, although Branch Wraith is kind of obstructing him right now. The Branch Wraith hits pretty hard, too. Oh, Branch Wraith gets knocked over in the stinky morass of Skrulk. Here it comes. Oh, but Orion's like, screw this shit. I'm getting down on this rat right now. Oh my God, Skrulk just gets annihilated by Orion. 1 spear puts him out of his misery. Oh my God. That was glorious. Well, there's a lot of people on my channel saying they wanted Wood Elf games, so there you go. Orion charged there at the end and finished that. Those Wild Riders, 324, 205. Value Train, Value City. So guys, that's it for today. ZACHBSAIN with a 4-1 victory. Amazing play by both players. Those games were all pretty razor thin, but alas, Mel Gibson's wrath cannot be satiated. Oh my God. That was crazy. That spear, I know. Yeah, the other day I played 6 games with Zach. And I had never played or seen him play before, and I was really impressed. We both man, they're really good games, and he showed today that he can compete with the best of them. That was quite a game. I mean, very well played to both players. My game crashed. Oh, let me go ahead and type GG in here. Game crashed. GG at Riggs. All right. So the black screen of doom. No, I actually have to go. I have to go meet someone at 3 o'clock to pick up some stuff from my local store. So guys, let me actually put a shirt on so I can go back to the desk. It got really hot in here, so I just went shirtless. But we'll switch back so I can say goodbye to you guys formally. Oh, all right. Go back to the desk now. All right, we're back. So guys, thank you so much for joining today. It was a lot of fun. Another best of 7 showdown in the books. Riggsen versus ZACHBSAIN. I always say his name's ZACHBSAIN because it kind of like looks like that when you just like read it from a distance. But an amazing series. Evenly matched players. It ended up being 4-1, but those games were all very close. There was a multitude of them that could have gone either way. So yeah, just big congratulations to ZACHBSAIN for the victory, as well to Riggsen. Riggsen again, got up at like 5 in the morning, just was ready to go, like despite the time zone and him being tired, and he got on and fought like a true champion. So those were amazing games. So very well played to Riggsen. And Zach, I got lost in the void. It's true. It is true. So thank you for everyone for joining, and also to the mods. I know we have a lot of you mods in here handling business. Thank you guys so much. And also for the donations coming in from Sunglare, Steel Bear, Frederick Anderson, Snuffleupagus, Sunglare. Let's play. We did play today. We played quite a bit. Magic D, thank you for the 20. Sunglare and D-Bison for becoming members on the channel. We got Sunglare, Christian Bender, and then from Garland Green as well, with multiple donations on PayPal. And Andrea for her first donation. Her or his, I'm not sure. Yeah, thank you guys so much. You guys are awesome. It was a lot of fun. Stay tuned for more Best of Sevens. We're probably going to have another one this weekend. There is actually a chance that we'll have one tomorrow. I'm not sure. It depends. I might have a Warhammer game tomorrow, but if I don't, there'll be another best of 7. There's a lot of high level players who are interested in playing in these, so we're going to do our best to kind of just keep pumping them out and doing it. It's a really good way to see different builds and play styles and all that stuff. And yeah, both players played extremely well. It was a really good series. Perhaps we'll get the Dark Lord Felcon back in for one. We will see if he's so interested. Yeah, there's ZACHBSAIN in chat. You can see him. Does that make sense? ZACHBSAIN, B is probably pertaining to his middle name. Sain is his last. Very cool. All right, guys. That's it for now. I just want to, again, sincerely thank you all for joining. It was an awesome, fun stream. I had a blast as always. And we'll be back with more hot best of 7, maybe tomorrow and at the latest Sunday. And then we're going to have the Ecl Grand Finals the following weekend, August 10th and 11th, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard, 2 days, Ever Chosen style, baby. We're going in deep. It's going to be fun. So, guys, thanks again for joining. Thanks to the champs for playing today, Riggsen and ZACHBSAIN, and we'll see you guys on the other side. Cheers.